Chapter 1724, Determination. As the palace broke apart suddenly, a group of people appeared. Tian level. Zun level. Those people were mostly Tian level and Zun level cultivators, some were even at the Xian Qi layer. They looked so weak and pitiful, especially given that they were in vast celestial ancient city. When the crowd inside saw that the palace was broken, some of them looked extremely happy, while some others looked insane. Surprisingly, they could finally see the sun again. How many years had it been since they had last seen the sun? But those who were happy suddenly realized what was going on, and their happiness was replaced with fear. What is this place? How strong are those cultivators? Where's Lin Feng? Asked Song Ling. Lin Feng and Song Xiao didn't seem to be in that palace. As expected, Lin Feng thought the crowd which had been trapped in the palace. It had been so many years, the crowd was wondering how strong Lin Feng had become. Master, we know nothing. Who is Lin Feng to you? Asked Song Ling, releasing energies to oppress them. Lin Feng imprisoned us in the palace, so we haven't been in the outside world for a very long time. We don't even know where we are, answered one of them. Considering his reaction, he was one of Lin Feng's enemies. Song Ling believed him. Those people must have been imprisoned given how weak and pitiful they were. Where are you from? And do you know where Lin Feng is? Song Ling asked. I come from Ganyu, and Lin Feng is a disciple of Tian Ch, replied that person. Song Ling was speechless. Ganyu? Tian Qi. He couldn't have heard of those places. When those people sensed Song Ling's energies, their facial expressions changed. They looked at him respectfully and said, Where are we, master? Vast celestial ancient city, replied Song Ling grimly. He just wanted to find Lin Feng and Song Xiao, not answer their questions. Vast celestial ancient city? The crowd from the palace had never heard of that place before. They had only heard about Ba Huang and Jiu Yu, and the holy city. Those people didn't know that they were in the great world. They didn't even know that they came from a small world. They didn't know anything, really. Vast celestial ancient city is one of the 18 main cities of the Dark Night region, but where's Tian Qi? Asked Song Ling. Dark Night. Main cities? The crowd was speechless, they didn't understand. Please forgive me, but may I ask you what your cultivation level is? Asked the crowd. Celestial Emperor, said Song Ling. He couldn't imagine who those people were, just how many countries had Lin Feng visited. Surprisingly, he had brought so many people from remote places. Great Emperor, Celestial Emperor, the crowd was astonished. They only knew that cultivators stronger than the Zun Qi layer were like gods. To them, great emperors were legendary cultivators from the antiquity who didn't exist anymore. But what about celestial emperors? They couldn't understand. What was a celestial emperor? Master, are you a legendary cultivator whose strength is superior to a cultivation emperor's? Asked someone, weakly. Finally, Song Xiao looked furious, making that person immediately fall onto their knees. That bastard Lin Feng, surprisingly he's carrying people from the small world around. Song Ling started inspecting the surroundings with his godly awareness. However, finding a person was easier said than done, especially if Lin Feng had already changed his face. After Song Ling left, the crowd remained with more questions than they knew what to do with. People from a small world. After a short time, the people from the Jade Emperor's palace started thinking, were there worlds outside of their world? Lin Feng had left and abandoned the Jade Emperor's palace. After all, it wasn't that important anymore now that Lin Feng already had a small world in his spirit. Lin Feng didn't care about those people either, whatever happened to them wasn't his problem. At that moment, Lin Feng was seated cross-legged in a hotel room. His eyes were closed as he was inside his spirit. Lin Feng and Song Xiao were in the duplicate Yangzhou city Lin Feng had created. Song Xiao didn't move, nobody attacked him, he was just facing Lin Feng. Lin Feng was smiling mockingly, standing there without worry. Where are we? Asked Song Xiao, glancing around and frowning. Small world, your small world, Song Xiao managed to process it. Indeed. It's my small world. Your armor is too thick, but even if I can't kill you, I can still imprison you until I can, said Lin Feng, smiling in a chilling manner. Song Xiao smiled as if he found all that ridiculous. You're smiling, said Lin Feng. Maybe you think that some people will come and save you. But I'll tell you something, here, nobody can find you. Even if you manage to leave my small world with your godly awareness, your qi is restrained in here. Empty words, said Song Xiao. Do you think you can control everything in your small world? Empty words. Lin Feng said, smiling in a cold way. Here, Devamara Kulpa strength can oppress anything. Impossible, said Song Xiao. He couldn't believe it. Nobody's small world could be that powerful. How could there be celestial Kulpa strength ruling that small world? Impossible. Just look, said Lin Feng, smiling coldly. Fire cosmic energies appeared and surrounded Song Xiao's body, earth cosmic energies also started surrounding him, then thunder cosmic energies descended from the sky. All those cosmic energies were bombarding his heavenly king armor. No, impossible, cosmic energies, how can you use these cosmic energies? Song Xiao was confused. Lin Feng was using normal cosmic energies, as if he had been cleansed. Do you understand now? Asked Lin Feng. Song Xiao was terrified and startled. Lin Feng had broken through to the Huang Qi layer. Lin Feng was supposed to be a cultivator of the Zun Qi layer, but he was an emperor here. Maybe Lin Feng had studied a skill to hide his real cultivation level, but then how could great emperors not know that he was an emperor? Abandoned by the gods. Ridiculous. I broke through to the Huang Qi layer a while ago, it's just that the outside world doesn't accept me. I'm the master of my own life though, not the gods, so I am still alive and I still practice cultivation here to become stronger, said Lin Feng, smiling sunnily. Song Xiao was dumbfounded. He looked at Lin Feng and said, You're the one who angered the sky, Lin Feng. Of course it was me. Restriction body. Song Xiao was astonished. He had always despised Lin Feng, but surprisingly, the one who had angered the gods was Lin Feng. Song Xiao, you're ridiculous, and you're too arrogant. How could you even compare yourself with me? I can kill you with just one finger, Lin Feng said aggressively. Lin Feng slowly walked towards him, his eyes were pitch black, unfathomable, enigmatic. Song Xiao, look at me. How could you even think of fighting against me, said Lin Feng, his voice carried demon-cursing strength. Song Xiao felt like he was losing control as he looked into Lin Feng's eyes, the source of the 9 netherworlds was starting to overtake him. Chapter 1725, about to leave. Song Xiao wasn't aware that he was slowly turning into a demon. Song Xiao didn't even realize that Lin Feng was walking towards him. Die. Suddenly, determination rose to the sky, and Song Xiao's brain felt like it was going to explode. At the same time, Lin Feng punched the air in Song Xiao's direction countless times. His Devamara Kulpa strength was brutal and contained both fire and thunder energies. Song Xiao gave a horrible shriek as he was struck. He was going to die, Song Xiao was going to be killed by Lin Feng. His godly awareness and determination were falling apart, blood was already spilling out of Song Xiao's eyes. His body slowly collapsed. Even though he was still wearing the Heavenly King armor, Lin Feng made it moot with his demonic willpower attack. Song Ling was still looking for Song Xiao outside a vast celestial ancient city. However, at that moment, the talisman which contained Song Xiao's soul broke. Song Xiao was dead. He was petrified. How? Song Xiao had the Heavenly King armor. Lin Feng couldn't possibly break it, so how did he kill Song Xiao? Since Lin Feng had dared kill Song Xiao, it marked his final time in vast celestial ancient city. The Celestial Evolution Holy Clan was no longer a mystery, so a lot of the other cultivators at Lin Feng's level had already left. Lin Feng was from a small world, so he couldn't wait to see the Holy City. Besides, Jun Mo she was in the Holy City, and Lang Yi and the others had gone there too. Lin Feng didn't have any thoughts about Empress Shi and Uxin because he was still too weak. One day he'd come back and settle his accounts. The 8 vast exits of the city were not guarded, so anyone could go through as they wished, unlike those of the 9 great celestial castles. After a few months of searching, there was still no news from Lin Feng. The Heaven Clan kept spying on the Animal Clan, but Lin Feng didn't show up there either. The Heaven Clan slowly started to accept that Lin Feng had probably left vast celestial ancient city. "Who's that?" asked someone who was far from vast celestial ancient city. Someone was seated with their eyes closed, and even though he knew someone was there, he still hadn't opened his eyes. "Master Duanmu, it's me, Lin Feng." Duanmu opened his eyes after he heard Lin Feng. He looked surprised. "I was wondering who could be so audacious. The Heaven Clan is not done looking for you, but you still came out. Vast celestial ancient city is gigantic, they can't find me, no matter how hard they try," said Lin Feng with a smile. "Your fake face is incredible though, it's really well made." "Even I can't recognize you," said Duanmu. Lin Feng could also hide his chi, so nobody would realize it was him. No wonder the Heaven Clan hadn't found him, it was as if he didn't exist. "By the way, Lin Feng, do you want to leave the city? You want to go back to the Gold Fire City, perhaps?" asked Duanmu. "I came concerning that matter, indeed," said Lin Feng, nodding his head. He walked into the courtyard and said, "Master, I want to go to the Holy City, but I need a good map and a weapon to improve my agility. Could you please help me?" "You came to the right person, little boy," said Duanmu the Celestial Emperor, smiling. Lin Feng shrugged. Duanmu was a celestial emperor, so he probably had millions of maps stored in his godly awareness. Concerning the weapon, Duanmu was a weapon craftsman, so who else could know weapons better than him? Duanmu gave him something for traveling. "Of course, I can also exchange it with the sun disk and the thunder hammer," Lin Feng said with a smile, but Duanmu shook his head. "I'm happy to give this to you. Besides, making you stronger and being your friend is more important to me than 2 great imperial weapons." "You're too kind, Master. Many people are angry at me in vast celestial ancient city. I'm sure that you'll become a monster in the future," shrugged Duanmu. Besides, for Duanmu, helping Lin Feng didn't require much effort. A small map and weaponry he didn't use anymore didn't count as much. "Master, thank you very much for your kindness." Lin Feng bowed before the Celestial Emperor. "All right, take the map," said Duanmu. Then, he opened his third eye and his godly awareness penetrated Lin Feng's brain. At the same time, his eyes twinkled, and an ancient boat appeared in his hand, as small as a hand. "I've never imprinted it, so you'll have an easy time connecting to it. With your strength, you won't have any problems using it either," explained Duanmu. "Thank you very much, Master." Lin Feng replied eagerly, before taking the boat. He couldn't waste too much time traveling to the Holy City. And even after the Holy City, the boat would still have its uses in traveling to different places. "By the way, if you go back to Goldfire Tower, can you help me take care of Mu Lin Shui? She's my good friend and she's fascinated about cultivation. If you refuse, I won't hold it over you," said Lin Feng. Duanmu nodded. "If I go back to the Goldfire Tower, I will. Concerning you, Lin Feng, if you go to the Holy City, the best thing for you is to go to a university. The school will protect you. Once you're in the Holy City, the situation can be dangerous sometimes. But if you are a student, people won't attack you so easily." "Universities are that prestigious," thought Lin Feng, surprised. "I'll remember that, Master," replied Lin Feng. He had faith in his own abilities, but he didn't have a powerful background in the region. Go. Leave vast celestial ancient city as soon as possible, otherwise new problems could crop up unexpectedly. Take care, said Duan Mu. I can't wait to see you become a great emperor. Then, we'll be able to talk about so many things together. I'm afraid such an ordinary person as me wouldn't be able to do that. Anyways, I'm off, said Lin Feng, bowing one last time before leaving. He had already used his talisman to talk to Qing Feng. Qing Feng, Wu, and Swan would be going to the holy city too, and they would meet there. Chapter 1726, Turning into an ancient tree. Lin Feng was seated in his new boat, flying above the clouds with incredible speed. Sometimes, some people passed near him, but they didn't talk to each other. Even though the boat was terrifyingly fast, Lin Feng would still need a while before reaching the holy city. Therefore, he wasn't in a rush. He enjoyed the landscapes of the great world, relaxing a bit. A few days later, Lin Feng descended from the sky towards a large city. Even though it wasn't as big as vast celestial ancient city, it was a lot larger than Goldfire City. Lin Feng stayed there for a day and then continued traveling. The continent of the 9 clouds was gigantic, but how big was it really? And how many people were there in the world? Regardless of modern ancient clans or ancient holy clans, in antiquity, clans had been created because of a peerless cultivator. The ancient holy clans had been created by very strong cultivators. Therefore, cultivators admired strong people and wanted to become stronger, and with time more and more strong cultivators emerged in the world. Millions of years ago, strong cultivators had started creating the world as people knew it now. Lin Feng didn't fly at full speed, but he didn't have too many breaks along the road either. Lin Feng was standing in a field. He glanced around. There was grass everywhere, it was filled with vitality. Life. Lin Feng looked calm, serene, and relaxed. Life strength. Life is the opposite of death. People, animals, grass, the 10,000 things of creation, everything is made of life, whispered Lin Feng. Around him, the grass started rolling in waves as a terrifying wind rose. Gigantic clouds appeared in the sky. However, those clouds looked strange, as they were filled with destructive energy, life kulpa strength. How could life cosmic energy turn into life kulpa? Thought Lin Feng, looking at the cloud in the sky. Apart from life energy, all other energies could turn into kulpa, but life energy wasn't supposed to be destructive, so what was wrong with this cloud containing kulpa strength? The life kulpa cloud roiled in waves. Lin Feng wondered if the kulpa strength would be the same or not. The terrifying life cosmic energies condensed and descended from the sky, bombarding Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng sensed an infinite vitality invade his body and flow through it, and started shaking violently. The energies left his body and turned into an ancient tree. What a powerful life strength. Life kulpa strength, is that kulpa strength though? Thought Lin Feng, laughing. He was surrounded by life kulpa strength and felt good. The landscape around was so beautiful, full of life. Boom! More kulpa cosmic energies bombarded Lin Feng's body, but they couldn't injure him, his physical body was far too powerful. Lin Feng could sense that the life strength was becoming more oppressive, however. Arg! Suddenly, Lin Feng sensed that his blood was starting to boil like fire and that dragons were roaring. The earth and the sky started shaking. His eyes suddenly started twinkling. Is my dragon going to wake up? Lin Feng's eyes were filled with sharp lights. Back then, when the crows cawed as the moon went down, Lin Feng had received the dragon embryo and dragon blood. He had promised he'd raise the baby dragon, and now life energy was cleansing his body and the dragon was chanting. His blood was also boiling. Was the dragon embryo going to finally hatch? When the third wave of vitality kulpa strength bombarded his body, dragon lights appeared all around Lin Feng, dazzling him. The grass became greener and the wind more powerful. Energies dashed to the sky. Then, the Kulpa strength slowly started dispersing. Lin Feng looked at the sky and smiled indifferently. He was still surrounded by grass. He then released his spirit. His world gradually appeared on a page there. Life strength can create, thought Lin Feng, smiling to himself. In the small world of his spirit, a celestial ancient tree appeared and grew in his body, the tree's roots intertwined with the roots of the other trees. Inside, there wasn't a Lin Feng anymore, but a forest, an ancient forest, with an ancient tree. In the distance, Lin Feng sensed the life Kulpa energy. Some people far in the distance saw some dazzling lights in the sky and shivered. What a terrifying life strength! Had someone broken through to the Huang Qi layer using life strength? However, they had the sensation that the sky was furious. When cosmic energies cleansed a cultivator's body, it didn't look like that. Some people who were closer by sensed the life qi and trembled. How terrifying! There were some pale and pitch-black colors in the lights too, and it also felt like there had been a dragon inside. They had never seen something as surprising and terrifying as that. Many people rose up in the air. When they arrived, they saw nothing, just a forest. Is there a terrifying life cultivator here? Thought the crowd. Many people left. However, some people stayed there and started looking for something in the forest, thinking that maybe there were precious treasures there. We're not far from the holy city anymore, and surprisingly such a weak cultivator is here in the wild. Thought the crowd about those people who were looking for treasures. Surprisingly, those very weak people were also very young, around 15 to 16 years old, and they were of the Xian Qi layer, a baby was even of the Ling Qi layer. No wonder they're looking for medicine here, that place is filled with vitality qi. Some herbs can be useful. Maybe that they could use herbs to become a bit stronger. Thought many people disdainfully. Brother, that person despises us, noted a young woman to a young man. They don't understand alchemy. No need to talk to them, replied the young man indifferently. When he looked for herbs in the wild with the elders, many people despised them, too. He was used to it. Indeed. We can change everything with our herbs and potions. Grand talents mature slowly, they just don't know that, agreed the young woman with a bright smile. Alright, let's continue looking for herbs, maybe that we could find a dragon vein herb, prodded the young man. This place was incredible and filled with many sorts of herbs. They would be able to make great potions. The handful of people continued looking for herbs. Even though their cultivation level was low, they were quite stubborn. They looked everywhere and found some herbs. Brother, that ancient tree is strange, pointed out the young woman loudly. The others also came over to see the ancient tree. They were surprised. It looks very strange, indeed. Even though it contains life, it's also different from a tree, said one of the young men. The others nodded. They sensed that that tree was different. Brother, could it be precious? Asked the young woman enthusiastically. We can't break it. We have to uproot it and bring it back to the clan, said the young woman. The group used their full strength to uproot the tree. What's going on? I can't put it into my ring, swore the young man, stupefied. What a strange tree, he couldn't put it in his ring. He was astonished. Never mind, let's carry it back to the clan. It could be precious, suggested the young woman. The others nodded and headed back to their clan. They hadn't thought that tree could be so strange. Poor Lin Feng, he was in a dream and he didn't know that the tree he had created was being taken away by people. Chapter 1727, Tribe. In an ancient tribe, people looked ordinary and simple. Only the young people had new clothes. At this moment, in the ancient tribe, a few young people returned carrying a strange tree. How strange, this tree's life qi is very thick, but it doesn't look like a tree and its qi doesn't disperse. What sorcery is this? Asked the young man, examining the tree. You little boy, you're dreaming. You're so weak, How could you understand such an ancient tree which might be millions of years old? It might be an immortal and legendary life tree, said someone with a laugh. Everybody around also started laughing. The tribe was noisy. Who knows? Maybe that I was lucky to find this tree, said the young woman. She tried to look determined, but she knew that if that was a precious treasure, she probably wouldn't be able to do anything with it. How could a life tree be so easy to obtain? The elders are here. Let's see what they think, said someone at that moment. A few older people walked up to the tree, prodding and touching it. One of the old men frowned and whispered, "How strange." "What is strange?" asked someone else. "That tree's life chi is very dense and thick, but its life energy is as motionless as if it was dead." "How strange," murmured the old man. The other old people were stupefied and touched the tree again. Indeed, its vitality was motionless. "Have you ever heard of the tree of life and death?" asked the leader of the group to the other elders, who shook their heads. "Then, move back and have a look," said the old man. He released a terrifying strength. The young people were very weak, but the old men together had a scary chi. Boom! A gigantic hand crashed onto the tree, and the terrifying strength broke the tree. A silhouette flew away and crashed onto the ground, astonishing everyone. It was a young man, appearing clean and handsome. Lin Feng was terribly annoyed. He had created that tree to practice cultivation, and surprisingly someone had interrupted him. The worst part was that the old man had broken his world with that attack. When Lin Feng saw the crowd looking at him as if he were an alien, he rolled his eyes. He wanted to kill some people, but the old men were strong. Getting rid of them wouldn't be easy. "Who are you and why did you come to our clan?" asked the old man of Lin Feng. Lin Feng shook his head, greatly displeased. "Mister, I was practicing cultivation in the wild, you brought me here, then you attacked me, and now you ask me what I am doing here. You're ridiculous." The old man looked embarrassed. Indeed, that's exactly what had happened. "Please do as you wish, baby boy." "I just thought of something," said the old man with a hesitant smile, then he looked at the young people and ordered, "Please take our guest for a walk around our territory." He was smiling cheerfully before scuttling off with the other elders. Lin Feng frowned and then smiled indifferently. Those old men were funny. But calling him baby boy was a bit strange. "I'm back," said someone in the distance. The crowd turned around and saw two people. One of them was tall and sturdy, and the one who was speaking looked even taller, stronger, and wilder. Lin Feng was stupefied when he saw the one on the right. He suddenly rose up in the air. The smaller young man scratched his head and smiled when he saw this. "Lin Feng, you're not dead." Lin Feng coughed and rolled his eyes. They hadn't seen each other for a long time. Lin Feng was happy despite himself. "You're not dead, why would I be dead?" shot back Lin Feng. "How could Huang Fu Long die? I heard about your adventures in Ba Huang and so on and about how you came out from the small world. You're still alive, that's impressive," laughed Huang Fu Long, smiling and bumping fists with Lin Feng. When they bumped fists, Lin Feng sensed a sharp pain in his hand, but he tried not to think about it. Huang Fu Long looked at Lin Feng and asked, "Lin Feng, why haven't you broken through to the Huang Qi layer?" Such a long time had passed, they had almost all broken through to the Huang Qi layer. Lin Feng was even more talented than the other elites back then. Even though some of them benefited from the wealth of their clans, Lin Feng should have broken through to the Huang Qi layer at least at the same time as they did. "I can't," said Lin Feng, shrugging and smiling. "Huang Fu Long, who is he?" asked the bigger cultivator who was with Huang Fu Long. The others were looking at them in a strange way. Surprisingly, Huang Fu Long knew a strange guy in the middle of nowhere. Something had to be wrong. "My brother, Lin Feng," said Huang Fu Long with a broad smile, then he said to Lin Feng, "Lin Feng, that's Tantai the idiot." "Tantai the idiot." What kind of nickname was that? Tantai the Wise, shouted Tantai furiously. He was even more domineering than Huang Fu Long, it's all the same. In any case, your name is Tantai, a little bit stupid, but that's enough, Huang Fu Long went on. Lin Feng was speechless. He looked at the huge Tantai, who looked rather scary. Huang Fu Long, when did you come to the great world, and how did you meet Tantai? Asked Lin Feng. After you left Ba Huang, many people started saying that the holy city was a fake place, that we lived in a small world. After learning about that, many people started leaving the small world, nobody prevented them from leaving. I also heard about the holy city and learned that it existed. Then, I started traveling and I met Tantai. Even though he's stupid, he's an excellent fighter. He's massive. We also exchanged views on cultivation and he hurt me, so we came here to heal my wounds, said Huang Fu Long, rather annoyed. Huang Fu Long is strong and massive. His cultivation level was probably too low, Lin Feng thought. As years will pass, you will have less and less chance to defeat me, said Tantai to Huang Fu Long in a disdainful yet joking way. It's because you have medical scriptures and you used many ancient pills from small tribes to make your vitality, blood, chi, bones and soul stronger. Your grand talents matured slowly, and now you're progressing faster and faster. Life's not fair, sniffed Huang Fu Long unhappily. Tantai looked at him and said, I'm going to help you too. Lin Feng understood that there could be conflicts between people like that. However, young people in the tribe did look strange. The young people were weak and looked pitiful. Tantai was very young too, maybe a year older than some of them, and he had already broken through to the Huang Qi layer. His cultivation was already very stable. He looked like a massive beast with great vitality. Lin Feng, unfortunately, you haven't broken through to the Huang Qi layer, otherwise I would have fought against you, said Huang Fu Long. He had never defeated Lin Feng, and each time they met he liked to challenge him. Alright, stop fighting, you two. Did you offend people outside, you two? Asked the old man to Tantai. Tantai smiled, he looked embarrassed. Mister, in the holy city, that bunch of bastards despised us and didn't let us enter university. We were furious, so we fought with that bunch of bastards. You lost, said the old man indifferently. That was an accident, replied Tantai nervously. You lost and came back because you want me to heal you? How shameless, sighed the old man suddenly. His chi was terrifying, and even Tantai shivered. A bunch of weirdos, thought Lin Feng, sweating. All those people were strange, even the old people. Chapter 1728, Medicine Scriptures, Accident. Show me your injuries, said the old man unhappily. He inspected Tantai's pulse and frowned. How cold. That's cold hell strength. Did you meet the Ice King's grandson? Asked the old man of Tantai. I didn't. It was someone from the Snow Clan, answered Tantai, scratching his head. The old man raised his head and asked, the Snow Clan arrived in the holy city? Indeed. A few young people, they're incredibly arrogant, Tantai told him unhappily. He had bad memories. But the Snow Clan's women are so beautiful. It's incredible. Tantai was smiling at the thought. The old man rolled his eyes and said, you're starting to think about women. The women of the Snow Clan are extremely beautiful, of course, but you can't go and offend them. Your injuries are serious. I'll go and prepare a potion for you. You know what to do. Don't worry, mister, just heal my injuries, and then give me some medicine I can take in different circumstances. I'll just take them myself, Tantai agreed with a smile, as if being injured was a good thing. Lin Feng was speechless, but he was more preoccupied with the fact that the Snow Clan was in the holy city. Baby boy, come too, said the old man to Lin Feng. Lin Feng nodded and followed along as they were brought to a simple room. It was a small world, but different from other small worlds Lin Feng had seen. This small world didn't have pavilions, rivers, lakes, or forests, it was desolate and unpopulated. However, they could see medicinal herbs in the distance, gigantic fields, and the peasants living in thatched huts. It reminded Lin Feng of the ancient times. That world seemed perfect for Tantai. The old man set a flower on fire, a simple fire, no cauldron, no special fire. Lin Feng, did you notice anything strange? Huang Fulong asked Lin Feng. Tantai was next to them. He was so tall that even when seated it was as if he was standing. How strange, thought Lin Feng. The first time, it was the same for me, but I'm used to it now. The ancient tribes are like that, they're not civilized. People who can heal cultivators of the Ling Qi layer or Xian Qi layer are already very rare. In old days, the ancestors taught them how to heal, they had all medicine scriptures with recipes and so on. And the most incredible part of that story is that they can drain the energy out of your injuries, which is then good for them because they can use them for other purposes. It's so strange, Huang Fulong explained to Lin Feng. Lin Feng was stupefied. An ancient tribe? This tribe was probably a powerful one. Do they get hurt on purpose then? Asked Lin Feng. Huang Fulong nodded. You're right, those people fight every day and get hurt, then they recover and fight again. Their blood is different from people in the outside world. They don't use the stuff they give to babies to make them break through to the Tian Qi layer like people in the outside world, they like to practice cultivation slowly, and become stronger step by step. When they feel they're ready, they start practicing cultivation and then suddenly they become stronger and stronger at the speed of light. Lin Feng glanced at Tantai. No wonder this Tantai was a bit strange. I see, but do they use medicine to start? Lin Feng asked Tantai. Indeed. We look at the cultivation level of our children when they're about 15 years old, it's the most important age in our tribe. And then we start giving them suitable potions. No matter how you grew up, in what conditions, poor or wealthy, all the children are raised and can change their body, blood, will, and soul. We have so many potions here for everything, the blood, the bones, the soul, anything. We have powders, pills, liquids. We also have many seeds. Some people can become giants, many people choose this. From the age of 15, people are raised by the clan in every aspect, explained Tantai. Lin Feng was stupefied. Some people in the middle of nowhere understood such deep principles. Lin Feng definitely agreed with their methods. They could share, their society was almost perfect. They lacked nothing. When you're injured, it's the same, you can also take pills. The problem is that we prefer using herbs to heal rather than to become stronger. We like being injured to convert it into strength and courage. We don't want to depend on herbs, continued Tantai, smiling at Lin Feng. But I don't understand those things that good, anyway. Only old people know about those things. Lin Feng, don't worry, of course, I think our philosophy is not that bad. I think so too. The philosophy of your group is great, agreed Lin Feng with a nod. You can understand what I said? Asked Tantai. Lin Feng had understood him, but Tantai didn't understand what he said himself. A few things, replied Lin Feng, smiling. They belonged to different worlds. Learning about the culture of that tribe was an honor for Lin Feng. Lin Feng, this tribe are expert at creating medicine. They helped me change my body. Otherwise, I wouldn't have broken through to the Huang Qi layer that fast, Huang Fulong told him with a smile. Tantai and Huang Fulong had fought against each other back then, it was a great thing and the tribe was perfect for him. By the way, Lin Feng, you didn't tell me, how did you end up here? Asked Huang Fulong of Lin Feng. I traveled for a while. I went to vast celestial ancient city, and then I was on my way to the holy city and those people brought me here, replied Lin Feng cheerfully. He was trying to be clear and concise. You're also going to the holy city? Great. When we recover, let's go there together, but you better try and break through to the Huang Qi layer, especially if you want to go to university. There are too many terrifying cultivators and some young people who are called kings. In the region of the Dark Night, I am extremely weak, admitted Huang Fulong. His eyes were twinkling and he felt enthusiastic. Lin Feng, people here are much stronger than in the small world, I love it here. The region is gigantic, the holy city is one of the 3 main cities, of course there are terrifying cultivators there, the best ones all move there, Lin Feng told him happily, but he was also impatient. He wanted to see incredible cultivators. Lin Feng, and maybe Huang Fulong and the others, if they had stayed in a small world, they might not have broken through to the Huang Qi layer because the environment wasn't suitable. But in the great world, there were more possibilities. Indeed. Some people are terrifyingly powerful. There are also incredibly beautiful women. Men chase them constantly. And outstanding women are arrogant, said Huang Fulong in annoyance. He's looking for a girlfriend, mocked Tan Tai. Shut up, said the old man loudly. Stop arguing. Don't forget past lessons. Humph. Tan Tai groaned. Nobody outside knows that I'm here. I didn't cause trouble. That bastard says he's a champion. He's insane. I didn't want the clan to get involved. Bastard, said the old man furiously. Tan Tai, did you hear what you said? You said you don't want the tribe to get involved. Don't forget about Ling Tian. Do you think I could let you die? Grandpa, it's not that serious. Don't worry. As long as I'm not strong enough to kill him, then I won't fight against him, said Tan Tai. Fighting against that person would be too difficult. Ling Tian was from another tribe, he had defeated Tan Tai. Now, he had proclaimed himself a champion and despised everyone. Chapter 1729, Champion. Lin Feng was curious. Some people were geniuses, some people had king bodies, but what was a champion? Lin Feng, you don't know what a champion is? Huang Fulong asked him. I only know about king bodies, replied Lin Feng. Indeed, in vast celestial ancient city, maybe there are no champions, but the holy city is different. It's in the central part of the region. No matter whom they face, such people proclaim themselves champions and challenge people, Huang Fulong explained to Lin Feng. Well, if those people are champions, they keep challenging the most outstanding geniuses, wondered Lin Feng. Of course. Those who proclaim themselves champions are terrifying. They fear nobody. Of course, some of their opponents are stronger and defeat them, and then they become new champions. As long as they don't die, they fight to amaze the whole region. Huang Fulong seemed very enthusiastic and laughed loudly. He dreamed of being a champion. I see. Lin Feng now understood what champions were. It seemed that ancient traditions persisted through the ages. Tan Tai was saying that he had to become stronger to kill his opponent, a champion. All right, take it now, ordered the old man, giving a full jar full of liquid medicine to Tan Tai. Tan Tai swallowed everything in one bite. After that, he opened his mouth and burped as his face twisted. The drink was awful. Refine the potion now, shouted the old man. Tan Tai nodded and closed his eyes, starting to modify the medicine inside his body. Even though the old man's cultivation level wasn't very high as he hadn't become a great emperor, his medical skills were incredible. Tan Tai had faith in him. At that moment Lin Feng sensed a cold energy invade the atmosphere. He looked at Tan Tai assessingly. A terrifying ice energy was being forced out of Tan Tai's body. That medicine is very good for Tan Tai. He's healing quickly, thought Lin Feng. The tribe had been doing research into medicine for a very long time, they had such incredible skills. Many people dreamt of having such potions. Master, the medicine scriptures probably contain terrifying skills, right? said Lin Feng to the old man. Indeed. The doctors of the tribe created many techniques and skills involving medicine. They also did much research about animal strength. My clan found out that animal strength was good for various things, and especially for people like Tantai, who use animal attacks and skills. He's like a lion, and a lion can destroy mountains and rivers. If someday he had the Lion King body, that would be incredible, replied the old man, not hiding the truth. There are also some people who still practice dragon strength, elephant strength, great rock strength, etc. We have all sorts of people and techniques. I see. Lin Feng nodded. Animal powers were perfect for those people, no wonder Tantai acted like an animal. He practiced lion skills and techniques. Huang Fu Long has a powerful and brutal dragon body, so our clan is suitable for him. That's why we helped him. Unfortunately, he's not that young anymore, and it's difficult to make his body change. He can only rely on strength now, said the old man sadly. Huang Fu Long smiled happily, it's already good, I benefit a lot from being here. I even broke through to the Huang Qi layer really quickly. If I hadn't been here, it would have taken much longer. By the way, Lin Feng, maybe he can help you break through to the Huang Qi layer? Potentially, wondered Lin Feng, but he smiled and shook his head. No need. I don't use medicine. Lin Feng had cleansed his body many times with the Devamara Kulpa strength, each time in his small world he already modified his body. The effects were similar to this tribe's methods, but the Devamara Kulpa strength was mysterious. You, said Huang Fu Long, shaking his head. The old man smiled at Lin Feng, this little boy wasn't easy to understand. Surprisingly, he had refused calmly. Good, said Tantai at that moment. He looked like he was having fun. Lin Feng looked at him, Tantai released Lion Qi. He was really strong, the medicine had made him stronger. Let's go back to the holy city. This time, let's hope that moron doesn't die, said Tantai. The old man rolled his eyes. You little bastard, can you stop talking nonsense? You get angry easily. You don't want me to become stronger, said Tantai to the old man. Don't worry, I have the feeling that you are approving. Lin Feng, come with us. The holy city is much more fun than the tribes. Let's go and travel, declared Tantai, smiling down at Lin Feng. Right, Lin Feng, come with us, said Huang Fu Long. He looked excited. Lin Feng shook his head and smiled wryly. But going with them was a good idea. Being with two friends while traveling was a good thing. His two friends were wanted by some people, though. With them, the situation could get dangerous. Let's go, said Lin Feng with a helpless smile. Awesome, said Tantai, clapping Lin Feng's shoulder. Lin Feng said goodbye to the old man, and they quickly left. In the outside world, up in the sky, there was a boat with 3 people on it. Tantai sensed the very strong wind brushing against his body and said, Lin Feng, our speed is incredible, we're going to save a lot of time, we can be there within half a day. It's the first time I have seen something this fast. Lin Feng, how did you get this? Asked Huang Fu Long. He was very curious. Lin Feng hadn't broken through to the Huang Qi layer, and surprisingly he had such a terrifying treasure. Vast celestial ancient city is far away from the holy city, so an elder helped me and gave it to me, answered Lin Feng easily. With the strength of the Zun Qi layer, it would have taken you ages to travel to the holy city from vast celestial ancient city, said Tantai with a nod. By the way, Lin Feng, the beautiful women of the Snow clan are so beautiful and very arrogant. Should we go and try to find a girlfriend among them? Lin Feng smiled wryly. No wonder that Huang Fu Long called him Tantai the idiot. This guy had just forgotten what his grandpa had told him. Forget about Lin Feng. His wife is even more beautiful than the women of the Snow clan. If you want to do that, you can go and do it yourself, Huang Fu Long told Tantai. Hee hee, I was just joking. But I must get my revenge against the one who injured me, said Tantai unhappily. It had been hard for him. Said Huang Fu Long, the Snow Clan thing is complicated to deal with anyway, let's go to university first. Indeed. No worries for the revenge. First university, and then we'll see if we can study anything interesting, agreed Tantai. Lin Feng, you haven't broken through to the Huang Qi layer yet. It'll be difficult for you to go to university, the exams are very tough. Huang Qi layer doesn't have any guarantee either. How come you were rejected last time? You failed the exam? Asked Lin Feng. That bastard. Last time, I looked at that girl too much and we started fighting, said Tantai angrily. Lin Feng understood. You said that you wanted her to be your wife, you started fighting, it's normal, said Huang Fu Long. Tantai laughed and said spiritedly, have you never seen a beautiful woman? I wish I could have one. Alright, said Lin Feng, shaking his head. What kind of exam do we have to sit to enter university? Battles, if can battle your way through, then you pass the exam. Different criteria for people of different ages and cultivation levels, replied Tantai. Lin Feng nodded, that exam was fair. No matter what the person's social status, they could try. Chapter 1730, Champion University. The holy city was incredible, it was a gigantic city, but it looked like a small world. There were probably billions of people there. Therefore, Lin Feng could also see mountains, lakes and rivers on the horizon among gigantic buildings. There were also people everywhere, some of them having fun in parks. In the holy city, everybody was a cultivator. Lin Feng, can you see that mountain? Asked Huang Fu Long, pointing at a mountain. It was gigantic, with precipices all around, lofty and piercing through the clouds. Lin Feng and the others were flying and still had to raise their heads to look at it. That is the Buddha mountain, people who practice Buddhist cultivation go there on pilgrimages. There are 99,999 steps to get to the top. That's a way of achieving enlightenment for them. It is said that the record to get to the top is 3 years, and it was someone a long time ago, Huang Fu Long told him. Lin Feng was stupefied. What a difficult test. 3 years. It meant that some people might need 10 years or more to get to the top. People who succeed are very determined. Otherwise, how could they become incredible Buddhist cultivators, murmured Lin Feng. 3 years to climb up a flight of stairs for enlightenment. Lin Feng didn't really want to do that. Besides, 3 years was the record, it could take more. You're wrong, said Huang Fu Long, laughing at Lin Feng, you can't imagine. Oh. Lin Feng didn't understand. How am I wrong? A long time ago, very few people came here and from what people know, they all became great demon cultivators, and not Buddhist cultivators, laughed Huang Fu Long. Lin Feng frowned, they didn't practice Buddhist cultivation, they became incredible demon cultivators. Unexpected. At the top of the mountain, is there a Buddhist school? Asked Lin Feng. Why did those people become demons if they were Buddhists? It must be a Buddhist school. It is said that people there are terrifying. Nobody has doubts about that, otherwise, nobody would do the pilgrimage, Huang Fu Long told him. Can't you get to the top by flying? Nobody has ever tried. Never go against ancient Buddhist rules, said Huang Fu Long, shaking his head. Very strange place, agreed Lin Feng with a smile. He turned around and looked at the mountain. Unfortunately, he didn't practice Buddhist cultivation, otherwise he would try. The holy city has many mysteries, said Huang Fu Long, laughing in anticipation. By the way, there are several universities in the holy city, to which one are we going? Asked Lin Feng. He had heard about several universities but he didn't know their names. In the holy city, there are 4 universities for different majors. Champion University, which trains people to become champions. People there love fighting. The Celestial Godly University is where people study special powers. The ancient university trains people to develop their godly awareness. They're very strong, they can destroy people's will and stuff like that. Only the Four Seasons University is different, they don't put the emphasis on anything in particular, they think every discipline is important, Tan Tai informed him. Which ones are the best? Asked Lin Feng. They can't be compared, they have different purposes, replied Tan Tai. Those universities had existed for a long time in the Holy City. Because every generation was different, different universities were created. There was no competition between them. Which university do you want to go to? Asked Lin Feng. He was curious. These guys were fighters and had powerful physical bodies. Maybe that they wanted to go to the Champion University. Not sure yet, replied Tan Tai, scratching his head and smiling uncertainly. How will you find a girlfriend from the Snow Clan if you're not sure? Asked Lin Feng. That guy had said that he had had a problem with a girl from the Snow Clan last time when sitting an exam. Tan Tai looked embarrassed, but laughed to cover it up. He's odd, thought Lin Feng. Then Huang Fu Long said in a low voice, let me explain. It doesn't matter really, Lin Feng, we're in the Holy City now. Last time we went to the Champion University but we failed the exam, that's all. Tan Tai just didn't want to tell his grandfather about that. Then, we went to the Celestial Godly University and encountered someone from the Snow Clan, whom we fought. Lin Feng twitched. He understood now. Tan Tai was embarrassed, he had failed the exam of Champion University and then he had lost against a member of the Snow Clan. No wonder he didn't want to tell his grandpa. Lin Feng, we failed the exam of the Champion University, you choose, which university should we go to? In any case it's all about cultivation, there will be people to fight everywhere, said Tan Tai. The region of the Dark Night had many outstanding young men who came to the three main cities to practice, those people were usually already strong. The four universities of the Holy City probably raised incredible talents. You want to go to the Champion University, right? Last time you failed, do you want to try again? Asked Lin Feng. All right. The exam is every 3 months. If you fail, you can try again. The last exam was a month ago. We have to wait to enter the next exam, replied Tan Tai. The Champion University was perfect for Tan Tai and Huang Fu Long, they were real fighters. They had failed the last time and 3 months wasn't a long wait for the chance to become much stronger. They were worried for Lin Feng who hadn't broken through to the Huang Qi layer. Alright, let's try Champion University again then, Lin Feng nodded. Alright, last time, I failed. Even if I went to other universities, I'd probably fail as well. My best chance is to try Champion University until I succeed. If I fail next time too, I'll just wait 3 more months and then try again, said Tan Tai firmly. The three of them headed towards Champion University. The boat was extremely fast, and after a short time, they saw a gigantic campus, a city within the city. Lin Feng, that's Champion University. Outsiders can't enter by flying. Even students can fly only at 1,000 meters around the area. They're very strict. Huang Fu Long explained to Lin Feng. I understand, nodded Lin Feng. The place was so famous, so being strict wasn't surprising. I think the university looks like a country in the small world, observed Huang Fu Long with a laugh. The campus was gigantic. There were mountains, lakes, and rivers. There were historical remains too. Indeed. In the small world, you'd be a god, but here at university, agreed Lin Feng, laughing. That university is very old, the buildings are so well preserved though. And there are some mysterious historical remains, just like in a country actually. Let's go. Lin Feng and the others descended to the ground and arrived outside of Champion University. There were some people looking at the university and dreaming that someday they'd be able to study there. We must wait a little less 2 months before the next exam. I wonder how many people will be accepted, asked someone outside. Something great is going to happen before the next exam, though. The champion will be announced, replied his interlocutor. Many people were stupefied when they heard that. The champion? Maybe that if they defeated the champion, they'd become champions too. You can't fight against him. At the same level, he's too strong, and you have no experience. People of the same generation can't fight against him. People nodded. Indeed, in the holy city, there were too many geniuses. But at the same time, there were also many potential champions. Gotcha. Tantai clenched his fists when he heard them. He looked like an animal. Lin Feng looked at Tantai. The one who had said he was a champion, was that the person Tantai had talked about? Chapter 1731, Grudge and Resentment, Beginning and End, Bullshit, despicable people dare call themselves King Ying, shouted Tantai furiously. People around looked at Tantai. He was brave and audacious, he dared humiliate champions, everybody knew that Ying Cheng was very aggressive and arrogant. If someone dared disrespect him, he killed them without hesitation. Tantai, shouted Huang Fulong grimly. He was furious because of the champions. What's going on? Asked Lin Feng. Let's go, said Huang Fulong, dragging Tantai away. People looked confused. Ying Cheng was terrifying, in the holy city, he was very famous. Weak people better not offend him. After leaving, Tantai said coldly, back then, when Ling Tian reappeared after a long time, he was extremely strong, he had studied dragon elephant strength. His strength was unfathomable. Nobody could compete with him in the tribe. He came to the holy city, joined the champion university, and then Ying Cheng plotted against him. He tried to kill him secretly, and Ling Tian was really badly injured and couldn't recover. Such despicable people dare call themselves champions. What did he do? Asked Lin Feng. Even the small tribe had such incredible cultivators sometimes. I'm not sure. Only a few people knew about that battle, and they're all dead now, Tantai answered grimly. How can you be sure that Ying Cheng plotted against him? He's extremely strong and he dares call himself a champion, but he really is incredibly strong. Lin Feng challenged him. I perfectly understand that. Back then, Ling Tian and Ying Cheng were considered incredible geniuses. Ling Tian was in Champion University, Ying Cheng is in the Celestial Godly University. They fought, Ling Tian's gigantic elephant strength was terrifying and he defeated Ying Cheng. However, after that, Ling Tian was friendly to him and they became friends. But during the competition of the 4 universities, Ling Tian was suddenly injured and couldn't recover, he was killed. If you told me that Ying Cheng defeated Ling Tian in the framework of a normal battle, I wouldn't believe it. Besides, Ling Tian thought of him as a friend, even during the competition, he would have never hurt him. But in the end, Ling Tian died. Ying Cheng definitely did something tricky, declared Tantai. He sounded furious. Ying Cheng had secretly killed Ling Tian. How sad. What a pity. A genius had been killed for no reason. Did Champion University get involved? Asked Ling Tian. After all, Ling Tian was a member of the Champion University, Ying Cheng was from the Celestial Godly University. Ling Tian died during the competition of the 4 universities. Even if Ying Cheng resorted to evil methods, the Champion University couldn't say anything. But some strong cultivators of the Champion University learned about it, but didn't manage to do anything. That's also one of the reasons why I want to join Champion University, replied Tantai. He seemed annoyed. Unfortunately, I'm not as talented as Ling Tian, and Ying Cheng is extremely strong. He's become famous already. I can't catch up with him anymore. If you really want to, you'll succeed, grand talents mature slowly, especially in your tribe, said Lin Feng slapping Tantai's shoulders and smiling encouragement. Tantai just nodded. Since Ying Cheng is supposed to be a champion, we'll see how arrogant he is. Alright, good. I also want to see what a champion looks like. There should also be many strong cultivators there, nodded Lin Feng. Lin Feng actually didn't care much about Ing Cheng. If he could see him, why not though? However, Lin Feng also thought that he might meet people he knew there. Many people from the vast celestial ancient city went to the holy city, Lin Feng knew that. He also knew that Jun Mo Shi was there, and also, he couldn't wait to meet other friends from Tian Tai. Maybe some of them would be in the holy city. After all, for those people from the small world, the holy city was symbolic, the name itself had always been very mysterious. Jun Mo Shi was here, Huang Fu Long was here, Lin Feng was here. Since they were all here, Lin Feng was convinced that other people would come to the holy city as well. It was only a matter of time. Besides, the holy city was vast, it was as big as a small world. Bumping into friends or acquaintances wasn't easy there, but during a big event, it would be possible. By the way, Huang Fu Long, Jun Mo Shi is also in the holy city. You didn't know that, right? Asked Lin Feng, grinning at Huang Fu Long. Really? Asked Huang Fu Long, stupefied. Indeed. You know the King of Hell Palace? Asked Lin Feng. King of Hell Palace? Tan Tai was startled. The King of Hell Palace was created by the King of Hell. In his best years, he started calling himself the King of Hell and amazed the holy city. Now, the elders of the King of Hell Palace must have become incredibly strong. Lin Feng smiled. People admired strong cultivators in the world. Tan Tai admired champions, but he was sad that Ing Cheng was one. Jun Mo Shi is now the Prince of Hell in the King of Hell Palace, Lin Feng smiled. Huang Fu Long and Tan Tai glanced at each other. Huang Fu Long smiled and said, not bad. He's really awesome. Surprisingly, he became the Prince of Hell of the King of Hell Palace. Let's go there. Let's go and find Jun Mo Shi. Huang Fu Long, you surprisingly have such strong friends. Tan Tai said teasingly. Becoming a Prince of Hell of the King of Hell Palace was very difficult. Of course, Jun Mo Shi has the imperial immortal body. In the small world, we didn't care about king-type bodies, but here we do. I have a brutal dragon body, I am quite satisfied, replied Huang Fu Long with a grin. Their boat started moving in the direction of the King of Hell Palace. They wanted to see Jun Mo Shi. Your brutal dragon body is a joke, mocked Tan Tai. Huang Fu Long looked angry, he wanted to hit the other, but unfortunately, he wasn't strong enough. Tan Tai, I've never told you, but in our group of friends, Lin Feng was the most talented one, he was even stronger than Jun Mo Shi. The most surprising thing is that he can't break through to the Huang Qi layer. Huang Fu Long shook his head. After so many years, Lin Feng should have broken through to the Huang Qi layer, why was he stuck at the top of the Zun Qi layer? Lin Feng was the most talented one. How strange, Antai looked intrigued. Huang Fu Long, my cultivation is different from yours. Whether I will break through to the Huang Qi layer or not is not a problem for me. You'll understand soon, smiled Lin Feng. Alright, I believe you. I hope you will surprise me pleasantly, agreed Huang Fu Long, smiling and not insisting. The King of Hell Palace was suspended above dark waters. Lin Feng and the others arrived by their skyboat. They looked at the vast palace in front of them, it looked like hell, and it rather unreal. The palace in front of them was floating above the water and kept flickering as if it was shaking. In front of the main gate, there was a bridge, and the bridge was floating in the air too. King of Hell Palace. Lin Feng read the letters at the top of the gate. It looked incredible. Lin Feng thought that that place was probably a small world, including the murky waters. Let's go, said Lin Feng, jumping onto the bridge. After a short time, he arrived in front of the main gate of the King of Hell Palace. Some guards were there, wearing dark metal armors. They looked at Lin Feng and asked, "Who are you?" "I'm Jun Mo Shi's friend." If we can't go in, we can also wait for him here, answered Lin Feng patiently. He had already contacted Jun Mo Shi using their talismans anyway. I see, please wait here, replied one of the guards coldly. Not just anyone could get into their territory. Very quickly, Jun Mo Shi arrived. He smiled at Lin Feng and Huang Fu Long, you came to the holy city as well. Right. And you became the Prince of Hell of the King of Hell Palace, that's incredible, exclaimed Huang Fu Long enthusiastically. By the way, this is Tan Tai the Idiot, a new friend of mine. Tan Tai the Wise, said Tan Tai furiously. That bastard, how dare he say such an insulting thing? Oh man, sighed Jun Mo Shi, glancing at Huang Fu Long. He then glanced at Tan Tai and said, Brother Tan Tai, come to the King of Hell Palace. The friends headed along the main road of the King of Hell Palace. There were many palaces as it was gigantic, and the chi there was pale but everywhere, like water. The King of Hell Palace is a cold place, ice hell, exclaimed Tan Tai. He felt cold even though he was extremely strong. It meant that the energies here were terrifying. It's cold here, it's normal, said Jun Mo Shi with a smile. The palace was beautiful, but still cold. Prince of Hell, greeted someone, bowing before Jun Mo Shi on the way. Jun Mo Shi smiled back. After a short time, they arrived in front of an ancient pavilion. Jun Mo Shi took some hot unit bottles from Lin Feng and grinned. We haven't drunk together for such a long time. Now, the four of us can have a drink. Hee, unfortunately, a girl is not here, chuckled Huang Fu Long. Lin Feng smiled at him and asked, do you miss Tian Chi Shui? How could I? In the great world, there are many amazing women, how could I miss her? Huang Fu Long, I'll help you, I'll introduce you to beautiful women. In the holy city, there are many of them, and they're very strong on top of that, Jun Mo Shi smiled. He was the Prince of Hell of the King of Hell Palace. He knew the holy city quite well already. He probably knew many geniuses. That's, Huang Fu Long looked confused and embarrassed. Lin Feng and the others just grinned at him. Come, have a drink. Jun Mo Shi raised his glass and everybody downed their drinks. Did you come here to go to university? In a month, the exams will start. Which university do you want to go to? Champion University. Lin Feng grinned. Champion University is not bad, but Lang Yi will go to Four Seasons University, he wants to learn everything, Jun Mo Shi told him. Four Seasons University, repeated Lin Feng, it reminds me of Chu Chun Chiu. Of course, Chu Chun Chiu will probably go to the ancient university. Chapter 1732, Reputation. Chu Chun Chiu studied the sky-absorbing holy scriptures. He can absorb emperors' wills. He should go to the ancient university, but he's enigmatic and unfathomable, maybe he will go to another university, suggested Jun Mo Shi. Lin Feng nodded agreement. Chu Chun Chiu was enigmatic. In less than half a year, he had become a medium-level emperor. He was terrifyingly strong now and would become monstrously strong in the future. Mo Shi, did you know that Chu Chun Chiu became a medium-level emperor, said Lin Feng. Jun Mo Shi nodded. Even though I came back to the holy city, I still know what's going on in the vast celestial ancient city. Chu Chun Chiu became a medium-level emperor in less than 2 years. You killed Song Shao and then disappeared. Back then, I thought you were probably going to come to the holy city. Of course, I hadn't thought you'd come so fast. In less than 2 years. Huang Fu Long was startled. How strong? Actually, less than 1.5, corrected Lin Feng. He asked Jun Mo Shi, what do you think about Chu Chun Chiu? He's very secretive. I wonder if the Chu clan helped him or if he solely relied on his strength. If he did rely solely on himself, then it means he's a terrifying cultivator, replied Jun Mo Shi. Such a cultivation speed was almost impossible. Lin Feng nodded and smiled. Let's not talk about him and drink. And so they continued drinking. How good. Cultivators love very strong alcohol. Hot unit makes my blood boil, said Tantai happily. It was good to be with friends. After drinking for a while, the faces of the four friends were all red. June Mo, she stood up and laughed. I haven't been that happy in a long time. We have no alcohol left, let's go out, I'll introduce you to some people. Maybe that they'll become your competitors if they want to go to the same university as you. Alright, the holy city is legendary for us, let's do some sightseeing, said Lin Feng cheerfully. They all started walking the streets of the holy city. Maybe Huang Fu Long will meet someone, said June Mo Shi, laughing. Everybody else laughed too. The friends left the king of Hell Palace. June Mo Shi was the prince of hell, nobody dared stop him. In the holy city, there was a gigantic building, the Palace of Provision, with flights of stairs all around it. At the top of the building, there was an ancient pavilion with good food and good alcohol. There was also a young woman dancing lightly and gracefully. However, nobody else could go to that pavilion. At that moment, June Mo Shi and the others arrived at the foot of the Palace of Provision. However, a group of beautiful women prevented them from going in. They were all beautiful and graceful. They smiled at June Mo Shi. Prince of Hell, your presence brings light to our humble dwelling, one of them greeted him. Those people are my friends. I want to show them around, said June Mo Shi with a smile. However, a woman smiled back and asked, the Palace of Provision has rules. Who are they? I can't take my friends in, asked June Mo Shi unhappily. The friends of the Prince of Hell are probably outstanding people, but the Palace of Provision has rules / people who are above 40 years old and people whose cultivation level is inferior to Emperor cannot enter the Palace of Provision. Please don't feel offended, said the woman, looking embarrassed. Lin Feng was stupefied and thought that the Palace of Provision was probably monstrously strong, because those rules were very specific. Being under 40 and having already broken through to the Huang Qi layer was already incredible. But in the holy city, there were also many geniuses. There are more rules. Those who are very talented and those who have a prestigious social status can also enter the palace, right? Asked June Mo Shi indifferently. Indeed, so you understand my position. Lin Feng walked up to the woman and suddenly lights appeared indistinctly. Lin Feng was suddenly surrounded by many lights of different colors. They looked beautiful. Cosmic strength, so many cosmic energies. The woman was surprised as she smiled, you're incredible, you already control so many cosmic energies, when you break through to the Huang Qi layer, you'll be terrifying. You are very talented, you are welcome to the Palace of Provision. Then, she nodded to indicate Lin Feng could go in. Richly ornamented palace, the statues and paintings seem alive, said Tantai with a sigh. That's the king's palace, right? It's incredible. It's the first time I've come here. Indeed, that's the king's palace. Even though there are many rules, people who come here are really incredible. They can hang out with many other incredible geniuses. They can also learn about things you can't even imagine. June Mo Shi replied cheerfully. The four of them walked up a flight of stairs, seeing people on every floor. After a short time, they arrived at the top. It was quite large. There were many people, who seemed to be talking about something. A beautiful woman led the way and showed June Mo Shi and the others to a stone table. They sat down and started drinking good alcohol and eating good food. The holy city is a great place for geniuses, it plays an important role as one of the main cities. There is a lot of competition here. The best fighters are the most competitive. Those who can defeat the most heroic young people become champions. The champion university is the strongest group, a young man said at that moment. The champion university is very famous, but are they really the best? Why would the champion be Ying Cheng, then? He's from the Celestial Godly University, said someone else. All in all, cultivators can't avoid using special powers, cultivation is limited, but strength is the most important thing. The four universities have a long history. Many people compete against each others. Everybody wants to be a champion. No matter what, the future can always change. Even though Ing Cheng is the champion and his attacks are terrifying, it doesn't prove that he's a peerless cultivator, said someone else. For him, competition was useless. So according to you, everybody should go to the Four Seasons University and study all sorts of things, but don't forget that even though the Four Seasons University is one of the four universities, most of the geniuses who studied there were amongst the weakest ones, rebutted the other one. Just statistics, cultivators are free to choose their own path. Everybody expressed their own opinions. Lin Feng was thinking. Cultivators could choose their own path, but it was difficult. For Lin Feng, everything seemed to be possible, but still the situation was complex. His cultivation speed wasn't incredible, but he was very good at fighting because he had studied a lot of things. Thinking too much about those things were useless. Life was mysterious. Lin Feng had thought about those questions in the past, but each time it was the same, he had no answer. The best thing was to focus. The Prince of Hell is here. What do you think, my friend? Asked someone with a smile of greeting. I'm not very smart, I learn so slowly, and I am bad in terms of physical strength, battling strategies, skills, techniques, willpower, and soul, replied Jun Mo Shi lightly. It sounded like bullshit, but nobody laughed. Many people whispered. Then, the one who had just talked smiled and said, "You're right. The most important thing is strength. The rest should be centered around cultivation. Everybody has their own path. If someone isn't a student anywhere, then they can dream," said another person easily. Who are those people next to you? My friends, stated Jun Mo Shi. I've known Lin Feng and Huang Fu Long for many years. And that's Tan Tai, a friend of mine. Tan Tai, I saw him last time at the Celestial Godly University. A celestial girl from the Snow Clan kicked him last time. Friends of the Prince of Hell. I would have never thought that. I see, said someone, smiling in a calm and serene way. Tan Tai and Huang Fu Long glanced at him coldly. I've heard that Brother Shang has failed university exams 4 times. People who sat the exams for the first time with you are all students now, and some of them even succeeded the first time. Brother Sean, I wouldn't have thought I'd see you here. I'm very surprised, Jun Mo Shi replied coolly. It's okay to practice, that person said angrily. Jun Mo Shi was surprisingly making the situation escalate. I've heard about Lin Feng, spoke up someone else. Everybody looked at him. He looked at Lin Feng and asked cheerfully, Your Excellency, are you from the vast celestial ancient city? Indeed, confirmed Lin Feng politely. I see. Brother Lin, I've heard that you used the Celestial Evolution chessboard and the Sun Holy Clan Sun Disc to kill dozens of emperors of the vast celestial ancient city's holy clans, and even some medium-level emperors. You even killed Sun Shao. You like fighting, it seems. Said that person with a thin smile. He hadn't thought he'd meet the legendary cultivator who had been abandoned by the gods. And the rumors were true, he wasn't an emperor. Your Excellency, you're flattering me, replied Lin Feng politely. Huang Fu Long and Tan Tai looked at Lin Feng in a strange way. That guy had already killed that many emperors. Even medium-level emperors. Lin Feng, who has been abandoned by the gods at the Ice Moon Lake. Many people now remembered Lin Feng's name and looked at him. He had challenged many disciples from huge clans. Every big city paid attention to what happened in other cities. If something happened, they learned about it, and therefore many people had learned about the situation in vast celestial ancient city. Among the news, they had learned that Chu Chun Chiu was terrifyingly strong, and that someone with a godly imprint king body and someone with the world king body had appeared. They also knew that Lin Feng, who had been abandoned by the gods, was an imperial culpa, that he controlled 7 types of cosmic energies, and that he had the celestial evolution chessboard which he had used to kill many strong cultivators from the Sun Holy Clan and the Heaven Clan. They also knew about the Moon Palace, Empress Shi's rebirth, the Netherworld Demon Emperor, and the strong cultivators of the Moon Palace. Those things were important, so people knew about Lin Feng. Chapter 1733, Champion, Your Excellency, I've heard Lin Feng said he'd defy the skies and would break through to the Huangqi layer. Unfortunately, he still only knows 7 sorts of cosmic energies and hasn't broken through to the Huangqi layer, a young man in white clothes said softly. He looked at Lin Feng with compassion. Unfortunately, he's an imperial Kulpa and can't break through to the Huangqi layer, someone else explained. Lin Feng was very strange. They had heard about Lin Feng's adventures at the Ice Moon Lake. Prince of Hell, your friend is special. He killed Yang Yen from the Sun Holy Clan. Now, he's in the Holy City, he'll definitely encounter some people from the Heaven Clan and the Sun Holy Clan if he stays here. They'll want to get their revenge. Lin Feng should be very careful here. Don't worry about me. I was fine in the vast celestial ancient city, so why wouldn't I be safe in the Holy City? What could happen? Asked Lin Feng breezily. I've heard that Lin Feng relied on the celestial evolution chessboard to kill emperors and that without the celestial evolution chessboard, he would have died. Can you show us your celestial evolution chessboard? Asked the one who had been rude to Tantai. Everybody was stupefied. Brother Shang spoke up. Indeed. The celestial evolution chessboard is a treasure from the celestial evolution Holy Clan. I've never seen it. Please show it to us, Brother Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked at those people and smiled indifferently. You all have incredible social statuses, you all have incredible treasures. Can you show them to me as well? Right. You're all quite cheeky. Would you show your treasures to everyone? Asked Tantai furiously. Those people were really brazen, the celestial evolution chessboard was Lin Feng's treasure, why would he show it to them? How ridiculous. After seeing it, what? They'd ask him if they could use it. Those people were startled, Brother Shang smiled coldly. You have a bad temper. We just to see how amazing the celestial evolution chessboard is. What is the problem? You don't know how to differentiate good from bad. We don't know how to differentiate good from bad. So why don't you take out the great treasures of your clan then? Shot back Tantai furiously. Insolent, shouted one of the young men coldly. Do you know where you are? You came here, we let you in just to give the Prince of Hell face. Tantai suddenly stood up, he was furious, waves of energies were rolling around him. However, Jun Mo she dragged him back and made him sit down. Then, he said indifferently, Shang Yu, the Palace of Provision is a place for incredible geniuses, you're allowed in here, so why wouldn't my friends be? You think that they were allowed in only to give me face? You're just supporting your friends. Those 2 emperors are maybe okay, but Lin Feng hasn't even broken through to the Huangqi layer yet, he couldn't be in here if it wasn't for you, sneered Shang Yu indifferently. Lin Feng has killed many emperors in his life. Have you ever killed emperors, Brother Shang Yu? Asked Jun Mo Shi. The vast celestial ancient city is the vast celestial ancient city, here is the holy city. Besides, back then, Lin Feng relied on the celestial evolution chessboard to fight back then. It doesn't prove he's strong. If he doesn't use weapons, then what will happen? Sniffed Shang Yu, taking a drink before he stopped talking. Amongst all these people, you're one of the weakest ones, noted Jun Mo Shi calmly. Shang Yu looked back at him coldly. Jun Mo Shi wasn't pretending anymore, he was directly humiliating him. Nobody said anything, but they were amused. It had nothing to do with them. Lin Feng came from the vast celestial ancient city, they didn't know how strong he was. How noisy, said someone walking up the stairs towards the top floor. In another pavilion at the top, some people who had an imposing appearance were seated in a pavilion. They looked heroic. That's Yuan Ho, a strong cultivator from Champion University. He's terrifyingly strong, thought the crowd. Yuan Ho was famous in Champion University. He had been studying there for 2 years and he had already proven how strong he was. The following exam would depend on him. Don't look at me like that. I'm just taking a walk, said Yuan Ho evenly. Some beautiful women brought drinks over to him. Those people are cool. I wonder how many people will sit the exam next time, wondered one of them with a smile. Dan Meng, be merciful when facing those little boys, said someone else to the one who had just talked. He was dressed in black and smiling thinly. The crowd looked at Dan Meng. He played an important part in Champion University. He was very aggressive, too. Shang Yu, you keep failing, this time, do your best, your brother told me to take care of you. Dan Meng said to Shang Yu with a smile. He then looked annoyed and said, I have the feeling that you still need years before succeeding, though. Don't worry. With you, the same thing couldn't happen, said Shang Yu, laughing loudly. Everybody understood why Shang Yu wanted to pass the exam of the Champion University. He had tried to sit the exams of the other universities to train. You're the chief examiner? Tan Tai asked Dan Meng. The chief examiners were in charge of the exams. Competitors had to defeat chief examiners. I'm one of the chiefs among the low-level emperors, indeed, said Dan Meng, smiling at Tan Tai. Alright, if the other chief examiners are like you, then being accepted at the Champion University shouldn't be a problem, said Tan Tai with a smile. Everybody looked at Tan Tai speechlessly. Lin Feng had a sip of alcohol, he remained silent. Tan Tai was a bit too direct. As expected, Dan Meng's mouth twitched, he looked at Tan Tai and said, we'll see. Wait for me, then, said Tan Tai cheerfully. The friends of the Prince of Hell are funny. He dares act so arrogantly. Shang Yu observed coldly. Dan Meng was very strong. In a one-on-one fight against him, defeating Tan Tai wouldn't be difficult for him, and Tan Tai dared say he would easily pass if all the chief examiners were like Dan Meng. Jun Mo Shi, let's go. Those people are too narrow-minded. They only think about social status, it's boring, Tan Tai said to Jun Mo Shi. It's not that way. Some of my friends like coming here. It's just that they didn't come today. We might meet them again next time, agreed Jun Mo Shi, also standing up. Are you all going to sit the exam of Champion University? Dan Meng asked Tan Tai and the others. The 3 of us will sit the exam of Champion University. Wait for us, answered Tan Tai. Alright, we'll see, replied Dan Meng. Shang Yu broke in. Good luck, you can't use treasures at the exam, only pure strength. I hope you don't encounter me at the exam, said Tan Tai to Shang Yu. Otherwise, you'll fail like all the other times. We'll see. Shang Yu spat back. Jun Mo Shi and the others left the Palace of Provision, and after that, they went back to the King of Hell Palace. They stayed there until the 3 days preceding the university exam. Ing Cheng had a battle stage in the Celestial Godly University. The 4 universities had existed for a long time in the Holy City. They had a long history, and many geniuses had studied there, including some people who had amazed the whole region. In history, after becoming a champion, the academic institutions considered the cultivator as extremely strong. It was an honor. Of course, champions also had to go through a terribly difficult exam, otherwise, if they became normal after having become champions, then the universities would have been humiliated. Ing Cheng was in the Celestial Godly University and walking towards the crowd from the Holy City. He was King Ying in that place. At that moment, the crowd was gigantic, Lin Feng was among them. How incredible, there are even many great emperors, Tan Tai thought, glancing around. Even in the bleachers, some people were terrifying. Around the champions' bleachers, there were statues everywhere, incredible teachers of the university who had existed before. They were the symbols of the glory of the university. In the holy city, there are many strong cultivators and many geniuses. In the 4 universities, there are strong cultivators in all the universities. Every 100 years, a champion is chosen. It's a glorious thing, champions have to be very strong, said Jun Mo Shi. Tantai glanced at him. He wasn't happy about the new champion. 100 years is too long, indeed. Champions have to be extraordinarily strong, murmured Lin Feng. But this year, apart from Ing Cheng, in the champion university, there's another strong cultivator. He's young and has the potential to be a champion, Jun Mo Shi told Lin Feng. Champion University? Indeed. Ji Chang, his name is Ji Chang, said Jun Mo Shi with a nod. Lin Feng's eyes were twinkling. In the holy city, there were many geniuses. Would Lin Feng find his place there? Chapter 1734, King Ji Shang on stage, a dazzling light shone down, and people appeared. Everybody saw a light beam and many silhouettes. Those people remained as motionless as statues. The number of people is increasing. The day of the champion is very important, said Lin Feng. Jun Mo Shi nodded agreement. Extraordinary champions make universities happy. Champions are really strong, it's not an exaggeration. Dong! An ancient bell rang and resonated far in the distance. A silhouette slowly arrived, climbing up the flight of stairs. That person looked ordinary, but at the same time enigmatic and unfathomable. He had the chi of a king. Each time he made a step, people's hearts pounded. His steps were in symbiosis with the cosmic waves of the land. As soon as he showed up, everyone looked at him. No matter where he was the hero. Ing Cheng. Even people who had never seen Ing Cheng recognized him. He looks brutal and violent, like a dragon or a tiger, as if the earth could collapse around him. He really looks scary, thought Lin Feng, observing Ing Cheng's chi. He sighed, there was probably a huge difference between him and Ing Cheng. A champion appeared every 100 years, they were extremely strong. Champions were even rarer than king bodies. It was a step-by-step process. It took time to become a champion. Jun Mo Shi, what is Ing Cheng's cultivation level? Asked Lin Feng to Jun Mo Shi. I don't know, but he can probably destroy any emperor, Jun Mo Shi answered calmly. Lin Feng nodded. As expected, Ing Cheng was terrifyingly strong. Today is the ceremony of the champion, thank you for coming here, everyone, said an old man at that moment. Lin Feng glanced around. Some of the cultivators were enigmatic and unfathomable. Maybe they were from the 3 other universities. Congratulations to the Celestial Godly University for having a champion, the 4 Seasons University wishes Ing Cheng much luck, said another old man at that moment. He was extremely strong. The ancient university also congratulates the champion Ing Cheng, said another old man, a strong cultivator from the ancient university. However, after them, nobody continued. People looked surprised. The champion university didn't express themselves. But since there were tensions between the champion university and the Celestial Godly University, it was normal. Back then, they had a cultivator who was talented and who had even defeated Ing Cheng, but then Ing Cheng killed him. If he hadn't died back then, he probably would have become a great emperor. Unfortunately, that hero had died. Besides, the champion university had a terrifyingly strong cultivator, some people already called Ji Chang a champion, or King Ji Chang. He had the potential to be a champion. He was the only one who could possibly defeat Ing Cheng. Have people from the champion university not arrived yet? Asked Ing Cheng at that moment. He sounded angry. Nobody replied. Nobody from the champion university congratulated him. The atmosphere became calm. Ing Cheng said, the 4 universities should be here for the champion, and now Champion University is not here. We'll definitely go to the Champion University at some point. Ing Cheng released energies, the crowd shivered. Ing Cheng was a real champion. Surprisingly, Champion University dared to humiliate him. He had to teach them a good lesson. The Champion University is here, said a voice in the sky. Chi rolled in waves and a tornado appeared. A silhouette also appeared. The person was wearing a golden robe and looking at Ing Cheng angrily. King Ji Chang. The crowd was stupefied. The Champion University was there, but King Ji Chang looked angry. How scary. King Ji Chang is the only person who would dare face Ing Cheng like that. The Four Seasons University and the Ancient University have incredible geniuses, but none of them are as strong as Ing Cheng and Ji Chang, thought the crowd. Ing Cheng raised his head and two lights of fury appeared in his eyes. He shouted furiously and released energies, rising up into the air. He released energies which pressured Ji Chang. Boom, the two threads of will collided. Two silhouettes appeared, Ji Chang and Ing Cheng's silhouettes. Ing Cheng, wait for me, said Ji Chang loudly. Ing Cheng was the champion. Ji Chang stopped confronting him and joined the crowd. I can't wait to battle against you. Ing Cheng's voice rolled in waves in the air. The two silhouettes collided and the energies exploded and disappeared. The crowd couldn't calm down. That was incredible. Ing Cheng, wait until Ji Chang is the new champion. No wonder that he's King Ji Chang, he's incredible. He'll definitely become a champion, exclaimed someone next to Lin Feng and the others. They turned their heads and saw some people they knew. They had seen them in the Palace of Provision, Yuan Ho, the strong cultivator from Champion University, Dan Meng, and the others. Of course. Ji Chang went far away for a while. I wonder if he's become much stronger than before, Dan Meng observed calmly. He sounded like he knew a lot about Ji Chang's life. He formed Ji Chang's club and he's a king for them, their officer. Many incredible cultivators follow him. Ji Chang is ambitious, he wants to create a kingdom, Jun Mo, she said to Lin Feng in a low voice. Lin Feng shivered. Ji Chang had formed a Ji Chang's club, he wanted to create a kingdom. People who created powerful holy clans or groups like the King of Hell Palace were incredibly strong. Ji Chang was wild, but Lin Feng also thought that it proved how strong university students were. He recruited people within the university and could create a terrifying group of influence. Maybe Lin Feng would be able to make Tiantai rise again from within the university. But Lin Feng knew it would be difficult. University students were terrifying cultivators. For example, Tiantai was extremely strong, but he had failed the previous time. Only geniuses could become university students. They were proud and yet, some people even tried to control others, like Ji Chang. He had the potential to become a champion, and with many followers, it would be even easier. Maybe I could also become a champion, thought Lin Feng. If he became a king, he'd be considered an incredible cultivator everywhere in the holy city. He would be able to create sects and clans. Ceremony of the Champion, Calling of the Hero, said an old man of Champion University. Dazzling lights illuminated the atmosphere. Young people were all enthusiastic. It would be wonderful if they could become champions as well. Champion Stone Tablet, said another voice. A statue shook and turned into Ing Cheng. It was the champion ceremony, his statue had its place there. On the statue, there was a stone plate. Something could be written on it, but at that moment it was blank. Ing Cheng, you achieved great things. Write some of your great achievements on the stone plate. Of course, if you haven't done anything in 100 years, then your stature will be destroyed, declared a voice. Ing Cheng nodded back. Ing Cheng must write the proper words on the stone tablet. All right, Champion University, watch, said the old man calmly, but he looked enthusiastic. The previous champion from the Celestial Godly University had been chosen 500 years before and now, 500 years later, the champion was from the Celestial Godly University again. Chapter 1735, the beginning of the exam. After it finished, the crowd dispersed, Lin Feng and the others temporarily dispersed in Champion University. Tan Tai wanted to join Champion University, but Jun Mo she didn't intend to join a university yet. He wanted to stay at the King of Hell Palace and then check out which university would be the best for him. In the Holy City, the universities had rules. When you became a university student, you lost your social status, you were a university student and nothing else. University students had to forget about their families, their clans, their sex etc. All that mattered at a university was strength. Besides, no matter what, at university, battles were sometimes to death, in which case clans and sects were not allowed to get involved. People had to accept the fact that their disciples could die there, that was part of the deal. At that moment, outside of Champion University, there were many young people. It seems that more than 500 people will enter the exam for Champion University. I wonder how many will become students. Thought some people in the crowd. Every 3 months, there was an exam, but as before, so many people were going to give it a try. Universities were gigantic. Each day, millions of people came from everywhere in the region of the Dark Night to go to universities. As long as a cultivator could become a university student, his future would be bright. If they didn't die, they almost had to become great emperors someday. The success rate of the exams at the 4 universities are extremely low. Each time, so many people sit the exam, but as before, received applicants are very few, to the extent that some careless people even die during the exam, said Tan Tai. Lin Feng looked at him in a strangely. That dangerous? Why don't people wait until they're strong enough, then? All the applicants are strong. Most people can also protect their lives pretty well, but some can't, and each time some people die because they're too careless, and de facto incompetent, explained Tan Tai. Besides, the level of the exam depends on your level, low-level emperor, medium-level emperor, it's the same for everybody. Who thought that they could get killed? Lin Feng nodded and smiled. What about people who haven't broken through to the Huang Qi layer? Same as low-level emperors, said Tan Tai. If I meet the chief examiner we met at the Palace of Provision, then I should ask about those who will take the exam with us, but we also have to be careful about them. So the people in our group are not strong? Asked Lin Feng. Of course, there are always ways to cheat. The chief examiners know a lot, they've been working here for many years. I understand, Lin Feng nodded. It was always interesting to have new people around. So weak and you dare come and take the exam of Champion University, said someone at that moment. Lin Feng and the others turned around and saw Shang Yu coming over. Apparently, he was there to take the exam as well. If I have to face you during the exam, you'll regret it. I'll make you shut your filthy mouth, replied Tan Tai. He was extremely angry. Shang Yu looked back at him coldly. All right, we'll see how you do that. You'll see. Tan Tai spat icily. I'll just see then, said Shang Yu, unimpressed. Tan Tai turned to Lin Feng. Lin Feng, Huang Fulong and I have already gone through the exam, we know how to do things, wait until we get to the examination area and we'll tell you more. You can't use external strength in the examination area. I'll whistle and I'll wait for you. When you hear me whistle, come and join Huang Fulong and me as soon as possible. Alright, I'll wait for your signal and join you guys, but you don't need to wait for me, you can just attack. I'll be fine, said Lin Feng to Tan Tai. After all, he didn't know how vast the university was. Are you sure you can do that alone? Asked Tan Tai. Don't worry, in the vast celestial ancient city, I killed many people and I'm still alive, Lin Feng smiled. He was convinced that among those who were going to sit the low-level emperor's exam, nobody could defeat him. Alright, since you seem confident, I trust you, Tan Tai nodded. What a beautiful girl, said someone at that moment. They gazed into the distance and saw an incredibly beautiful woman. Yuan Jing, Princess Yuan is here in Champion University. Thought the crowd. They were astonished. She was the princess of the Yuan clan, she belonged to the direct lineage of the group. In Champion University, there were many people from the Yuan clan, like Yuan Ho. He was in charge of the exam. Yuan Ho was a terrifying cultivator. He was in the Ji Chang's club. He had power. Ji Chang's club had been created by King Ji Chang, he would probably become a terrifying cultivator and the group would become a holy clan. Does the princess want to take the exam as well? Asked someone at that moment. It was Yuan Ho. Yuan Jing stopped moving. Mind your own business. I want to sit the exam of Champion University, and I would like to be sure that nobody controls the event from behind the scenes, Yuan Jing replied serenely. Sister, I think you're extremely strong and the exam is very fair, how can you talk about any sort of control behind the scenes? Don't worry, Yuan Ho answered, smiling indifferently. Alright, good. Go and prepare everything. It will start soon. Don't get crushed by an army of insects like us, Yuan Jing said calmly. So the disciples are even stronger than I expected? Then, it's perfect. Yuan Ho observed with a tight smile. Alright, princess. I'm off. Good luck. See you, said Yuan Jing, nodding before she disappeared into the crowd. I wouldn't have thought that the princess would come and sit the exam. A strong and really beautiful woman will soon become a student here, said someone, smiling after Yuan Jing. Yuan Jing glanced at him easily and said, you should focus instead of talking nonsense. You should be getting prepared for the exam. The success rate is extremely low here, it won't be easy. Of course, answered that person, smiling and stepping back. People then started getting ready. At that moment, a strong cultivator rose up in the air, and more followed. They all had powerful chi. They looked down at the crowd as a gigantic map appeared under their feet. It contained world strength. Yuan Ho said, the world is plainly visible. I will be guiding you during the exam. Just listen to what I say. Understood? Don't worry, Yuan, give me 4 people, it won't be easy to succeed. Back then, it wasn't easy for us to get in, spoke up Dan Meng, laughing wholeheartedly. Everybody wanted to fight there, and those old men looked eager to see battles as well. Back then, some disciples had gone through this, and now some other people would again. The candidates probably couldn't believe that one of the major elements of the exam was a map. They could go anywhere on it. So of course, many hardships awaited them on the way. Don't worry. Each time, some incredible cultivators rise. Sometimes, nobody is killed. Besides, many people are going to sit the exam. I'm even starting to wonder if there are enough people, said Yuan Ho. He sounded vigilant. He didn't underestimate the candidates. Not enough. We've so many people. We could almost have 2 people observing everyone. Dan Meng smiled. Their team was incredible. Alright, we'll do our best then. If they succeed, it's because they're strong. Get ready, ordered Yuan Ho, his eyes twinkling. Outside of Champion University, an illusion appeared and a voice proclaimed, low-level emperors, come in. It's the beginning of the exam. Thought the crowd, glancing around. Remember that we won't be able to stay together all the time. Be careful, warned Tan Tai. Lin Feng and the others jumped into the illusion hole. Humph. Shan Yu groaned coldly and jumped into the hole after them. He hoped he'd become a student soon. Chapter 1736, Explosive Battle in front of Lin Feng, a talisman was twinkling. This time, there were many people, and therefore some people had to give up directly. Only those who had 5 talismans could go to the castle. Also, they couldn't use anything to fight. When the crowd heard the rules, they understood everything. Sometimes, only 1 or 2 people could pass the exam. If nobody was suitable, then nobody was chosen. That was also a possibility. Lin Feng's heart started pounding as he walked forwards and grabbed a talisman. Arg! A lion roared in the distance. Lin Feng understood that Tantai practiced Lion King strength and therefore the roar was for him. In universities, it's as if we are connected to something. Maybe even when we're not in their field of vision, they can still see everything we do, thought Lin Feng. He then started moving like the wind. Boom! Boom! Suddenly, terrifying waves of energies rolled towards Lin Feng. He was stupefied and saw someone arrive, or more precisely 2 fists, they contained a terrifying strength. Transformation, said Lin Feng suddenly, and his wind cosmic energies turned into sharp wings. They looked gigantic and he beat them at full speed. What a powerful physical body. He's probably hiding his cultivation level, thought that person in amazement. Since Lin Feng could resist his attacks, it meant that he was at least a low-level emperor, but from outside it seemed that he had the strength of the Zun Qi layer. It was very dangerous. Give me the talisman, ordered Lin Feng. Moving like the wind, he turned into a hurricane chasing the person. His cosmic energies were terrifying, marks even appeared in the air. He was getting closer and closer. That person was shocked, how could he be so fast? Gigantic Qi River. Suddenly, the person stopped and moved towards Lin Feng at full speed, releasing terrifying amounts of Qi that made the atmosphere shake. What a terrifying attack! Thought Lin Feng when he saw the gigantic waves of Qi. Lights appeared around him and he shouted, Kulpa sword, die. A Devamara Kulpa sword appeared, it seemed indestructible as it sliced into the gigantic Qi river. Talisman, go, said the person. He didn't want to fight against Lin Feng anymore, so he immediately threw the talisman at him and left. Losing a talisman wasn't a problem, he could get one somewhere else. His life was more important, though. Lin Feng moved like the wind in the direction of the lion voice. At that moment, Tantai was fighting, the atmosphere was shaking. Many people had come after him when they heard him roar. Tantai was moving backwards and punches bombarded him. The battle was tough. Give me the talisman, shouted someone behind Tantai. A gigantic golden hand moved towards him. Tantai suddenly turned around and shouted furiously, piss off. Tantai jumped like a lion and punched the atmosphere. Rumbling sound spread in the air, the earth and the sky shook. His opponent was propelled backwards, and his golden armor broke apart. However, demon energies suddenly started moving. Arg! Tantai was furious. He punched the atmosphere in the direction of the demon energies, but they were too strange and still penetrated into his arm and veins. Corrosion. Tantai frowned and shook his arm. He shouted furiously, condensed cosmic energies and moved backwards. What a terrifying attack! Thought a young man in black clothes. Bzzz. A silhouette moved like the wind, that person was surrounded. He had immortal strength in his hands. Immortal era. The terrifying energies turned into immortal strength and moved towards the enemy at full speed. The guy jumped back, but the immortal era turned into an ocean in the wind and broke the golden hand apart. Hand your talisman over. The guy with the immortal strength groaned coldly and threw the talisman at the new arrival before leaving. They all knew they couldn't afford to waste time, and they didn't need to try and kill opponents here, it wasn't necessary. Defeating an opponent took time and energy, if they did too much in a battle, then the following ones could be fatal. After stealing a talisman, the young man with the immortal strength didn't leave. He continued watching Tantai and the evil young man's battle. Humph. The evil young man glanced at the young man with the immortal strength. That guy wanted to benefit from someone's loss. He was quite strong. It was just the beginning. Some people didn't want to exhaust themselves too much. A spear appeared and pierced through the atmosphere at full speed. Then, it passed in front of Tantai and continued moving towards someone who had fled. The young man with the immortal strength didn't leave, instead he looked at Tantai and said, "Give me your talisman." "Fuck, I wouldn't have thought the exam would be like that this time." "You just helped me, so take my talisman," Tantai said, throwing it at the young man. "Leave now." Your roar drew people's attention. "You can resist against one, but what about 5 or 6, said the young man with the immortal strength, then he turned around and disappeared. Tantai understood what the young man meant. He started running towards a castle in front of him. The young man was right. There were too many people sitting the exam. Some of them were starting to get eliminated, so it was dangerous. They had to be cautious. He wasn't worried about Lin Feng. Many people checked the area and saw that nobody was fighting. For them, everyone was a potential opponent. If they didn't have talismans, they had to steal some. By the time Lin Feng arrived, Tantai had already left. His eyes were twinkling. Lin Feng glanced around, the roar had come from there but surprisingly, there was blood. Lin Feng frowned, was Tantai injured? Lin Feng moved like the wind as fast as lightning. He flew above mountains and rivers. Tantai. At that moment, Lin Feng slowly rose up in the air, his voice resonated far away, many people raised their heads and looked at Lin Feng. How audacious, he dared fly high up in the sky, how audacious and brave. Bzzz, bzzz. After Lin Feng rose up in the air, far away in the distance, 2 silhouettes rose up in the air as well. How audacious. Those people had confidence in their own abilities. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared do that. Prince Yuan, she's there too. The crowd looked at the silhouette, it was Yuan Jing. Lin Feng, shouted someone at that moment on the horizon. Lin Feng accelerated and found Tantai there. At that moment, Tantai's chi was floating around him. Lin Feng landed next to him and asked, "Are you injured?" "Some guy practices demon cultivation and controls demonic and corroding cosmic energies, he's dangerous. I wanted to use my physical body to fight against his demon spear and his attack corroded my body," spat Tantai. He sounded annoyed. Now, his arm was sore. Cosmic energy was corroding his body. "Let me see." Lin Feng grabbed Tantai's arm and released life cosmic energy which started flowing throughout Tantai's veins. Tantai was surprised. Lin Feng was extraordinary, especially since he only had the strength of the Zun Qi layer. "Even though I don't have powerful medicine like your tribe, at least, I can remove corroding cosmic energy," Lin Feng smiled. When something was rotting, life cosmic energy could solve the issue. "Lin Feng, you're audacious, I don't even dare fly up in the air," smiled Tantai. "Let's go." "Alright, let's continue." "Let's go and see the castle then." "I'm sure there will be talismans to steal there," agreed Lin Feng. However, at that moment, a silhouette appeared and stared at Lin Feng and Tantai. He looked hesitant. "Let's go." Lin Feng and Tantai continued running, ignoring the guy. Lin Feng accelerated, he was surrounded by wind cosmic energy, which could cut the people around him. How arrogant! Thought that guy, trembling with anger. He released explosive energies and flew towards Lin Feng at full speed. Boom! His physical body seemed indestructible. However, when their fists collided, Lin Feng sensed a terrifying pain in his arm. He looked surprised, and then flames of fury appeared in his eyes. Chapter 1737, 9 Swords Explosive Kulpa, Broken Bones. Lin Feng sensed that some of his bones were broken. If his physical body hadn't been that strong, he would have died. He could have crushed Lin Feng's arm. "Explode!" shouted that person furiously. His voice carried a terrifying strength towards Lin Feng's arm. Lin Feng had the sensation his arm was going to explode. He's being careless now. Lin Feng saw that his enemy's eyes were bloodshot. He released Devamara rule strength using his arm, destructive energies invaded the atmosphere, and his opponent's arm exploded. His physical body wasn't as strong as Lin Feng's. He couldn't resist Lin Feng's Devamara Culpa double attack. He moved back at full speed, but Lin Feng had already turned into a bloodthirsty predator. How could he let his enemy off? Terrifying energies invaded the atmosphere, Earth cosmic energy rolled out in waves and pressed down on Lin Feng's opponent. "I'll give you my talisman," exclaimed his opponent. His blood was boiling, he had the feeling that he was going to die, he had to use his full strength. Die. Lin Feng accelerated, he didn't let his enemy resist. He released even more Culpa strength. Cosmic energy rose to the skies. He wanted to crush him. How cruel! Thought some people in the distance when they saw that Lin Feng dared kill people. They ran away. Lin Feng took his opponent's ring and talisman, and then Tan Tai and him continued flying. Lin Feng had a powerful physical body, he had overwhelmed his opponent. Suddenly, Lin Feng realized that some energies were coming towards him from the left and right. Everybody was going to the castle, so people preferred focusing on the area of the castle and fighting there. On the way, Lin Feng didn't try to steal talismans, finally arriving at the foot of the castle. It was gigantic, with an enormous gate. Some people tried to cross the gate, but since they didn't have talismans, the door wouldn't open. "We're too early," Tan Tai smiled. The area was so vast, there was more than enough space for people to fight there. Most people who had already arrived didn't face the castle, they were watching newcomers. They all looked solemn and respectful, and their chi was incredible. "You're here, too. Did you get enough talismans?" Tan Tai asked the young man. It was the young man who had used immortal strength. "I need one more," the young man smiled back. He looked at Lin Feng and blinked. Zun Chi layer, he was stupefied. Zun cultivators were afraid to try the exam. Even though the holy city had many geniuses, few Zun cultivators dared fight against emperors, and on top of that, emperors who took the exams to go to university were already extraordinary. Therefore, with the strength of the Zun Chi layer, it would be difficult to rank well. Some people knew skills that allowed them to hide their cultivation level. Maybe that Lin Feng had done that. "Don't steal his talisman, otherwise, even if you help me, I won't forgive you," Tanta said to him. That young man just smiled. In the distance, some people were coming at full speed, so there was no need to take talismans from Lin Feng. Besides, Tan Tai wasn't weak, so Lin Feng had to be strong. Huang Fu Long. Huang Fu Long came at full speed. The earth shook around him. But at that moment, Huang Fu Long was struggling, two people were chasing him. "It's him." Tan Tai swore. Behind those two people, there was someone else. Shang Yu was chasing Huang Fu Long, arg. Tan Tai was furious. He jumped, and the ground shook. He threw himself at that person. It was as if 1,000 lions had thrown themselves at the young man. Tan Tai released heavy energies which moved towards him. When Huang Fu Long saw that Tan Tai was coming to save him, he suddenly turned around and threw himself at his enemies again. He looked like a gigantic dragon, powerful and majestic. Not bad. It seems like Huang Fu Long has made great progress. He probably received great things in the tribe. Ling Tian smiled at Huang Fu Long. Huang Fu Long's cultivation looked similar to Tan Tai's, their energies were heavy and aggressive. Tan Tai was a lion, Huang Fu Long was a dragon. What did Ling Tian's style look like? Shang Yu didn't fight. He was standing there staring at Tan Tai coldly. Tan Tai was stronger than Huang Fu Long and more aggressive. He had lion chi, so his attacks were explosive and wild. A beautiful silhouette appeared, it was Yuan Jing, Princess Yuan. When Shang Yu saw Yuan Jing, he smiled and nodded in greeting, Princess Yuan. Shang Yu, you're not as talented as your brother Shang Jun. The exam must be difficult for you, Yuan Jing said calmly. Shang Yu didn't look furious, as he couldn't offend her, since she had a very high social status. She was also very talented and very strong. Princess Yuan, I will remember your piece of advice. But in the end, I will definitely manage to become a university student. If I fail this time, I'll try again, said Shang Yu calmly. Princess Yuan nodded and replied, good, I hope you'll become like your brother. The princess is incredible. She's incredible, outstanding, and beautiful, said the young man with the immortal strength. He was standing next to Lin Feng. It was impossible to know if he was joking or serious. At that moment, the princess was with some people, all of them were geniuses. They were protecting her. We don't need to be polite for the exam, said Shang Yu with a cold smile. After that he started running towards Huang Fu Long. He would first kill Huang Fu Long, and then Tan Tai. Shang Yu accelerated. Suddenly, he raised his hands and a terrifying demon blade appeared and descended from the sky. Piss off, shouted Huang Fu Long. A dragon roared and rose up in the air towards the demon blade. It broke apart but the dragon did too. The blade had just been destroyed, yet Shang Yu already sensed a terrifying energy move towards him. He turned his head and saw Lin Feng. A gigantic blade appeared, the atmosphere shook and his body was bombarded. Die! The Kulpa sword immediately moved towards the man who was attacking Huang Fu Long. The sword was terrifying and whistled through the air. The very sky was shaking. The sword immediately pierced through that person's body and destroyed his soul. 9 Kulpa swords were floating around Lin Feng as if they were dancing around their god. You're attacking me by surprise, protested Shang Yu, looking at Lin Feng. He looked furious. That guy had only broken through to the Zun Qi layer, and surprisingly he could use the strength of the 9 Kulpa swords. His attacks were terrifying and sly. I'm learning from you. Lin Feng retorted coldly, and then he started running towards Shang Yu, shouting, Huang Fu Long, go and help Tan Tai, kill. All right. Since they were being shameless, Huang Fu Long didn't hesitate. He was shocked to find Lin Feng was extremely strong. It was a pleasant surprise. Lin Feng was a Zun cultivator, but his attacks were terrifying. Since there are tensions, let's fight for real then. Lin Feng said coldly, and released demon energies which dashed to the skies. Shang Yu released a gigantic blade. He shouted back harshly, let's see if your sword Kulpa can defeat my demon sword. I'll show you, Lin Feng sneered. Suddenly, sword Kulpa strength dashed to the skies. Shang Yu also released energies which tore at the air. Another sword attack appeared and bombarded Shang Yu's blade. By the time the 3rd Kulpa sword appeared, Shang Yu's arm was shaking violently. When Lin Feng used his 4th Kulpa sword attack, Shang Yu pulled a long face. The Kulpa sword was surrounded by wind cosmic energy. Lin Feng was moving at full speed and his sword was screaming through the air. Shang Yu wasn't weak, his demon blade was terrifying, and a curtain of black lights appeared in front of him. However, when Lin Feng released all the wind cosmic energies in his Kulpa sword attacks, Shang Yu turned around and started running away at full speed. Lin Feng was calmly standing there. The crowd was shaking. That guy was very strong. He could suppress Shang Yu. Ah, a horrible shriek spread out. A Kulpa sword crashed against Shang Yu's left arm and cut it off. Shang Yu was dumbstruck. He released his spirit and a gigantic ancient demon blade appeared at his back, but he still couldn't block the 9 Kulpa sword attacks. Enough, Yuan Jing ordered coldly. Lin Feng turned to her and heard her say, I told you to stop. Lin Feng's pitch-black eyes twinkled. He looked at Yuan Jing calmly. She was used to being respected by everyone. Chapter 1738, Piss Off. Princess Yuan is defending Shang Yu. The crowd was startled. Shang Yu's brother was already a student at Champion University. It had already been almost 2 years. He was quite famous too, the Yuan clan were good friends with them. Thus, Princess Yuan wanted to protect Shang Yu. It was normal, and in any case, it wasn't a big deal either. She just had to say that once and anyone would listen. Especially since she had never heard of Lin Feng, a Zun cultivator. He wouldn't dare disobey her. Princess Yuan was extremely famous. In the holy city, everybody respected her. She had a high social status. Lin Feng had to give her face. In the holy city, everybody did. Princess Yuan was powerful. If they were Lin Feng, they would have never considered the possibility of contradicting her. Strength was the most important thing. Weak people couldn't afford challenging people who were too strong and powerful. Lin Feng was weak. Interesting. The young man with the immortal strength looked amused. Shang Yu was in Lin Feng's hands. However, Yuan Jing had told him to stop. So would Lin Feng kill that guy, or not? Lin Feng glanced at Yuan Jing. He looked as if he didn't care about anything in the world, as if he was used to going against orders anyway. He didn't like women like that. Yuan Jing reminded him of Qi Jiao Jiao. She also thought everybody had to obey her. Do I know you? Lin Feng asked Yuan Jing indifferently. When the crowd heard Lin Feng, they frowned. Lin Feng was insane. He didn't give face to the princess. Yuan Jing looked at him coldly. Don't you know who I am? I've heard of you, Princess Yuan, but I don't know you, Lin Feng replied, smiling indifferently. Therefore, please move aside. Insolent, shouted someone next to Yuan Jing. He looked at Lin Feng and said icily, how insolent, you apologized to the princess immediately. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Yuan Jing didn't say anything. She would have never thought that Lin Feng would dare be so rude. She didn't need to attack, though. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. He looked at that guy and icy energies filled the air. Let's see how you'll kill me then, shot back Lin Feng with chilling calm. Initially, he wanted to wait before showing how aggressive he was. How reckless, swore that man, jumping towards Lin Feng. It was as if heaven was collapsing. Tan Tai, Huang Fu Long, you take care of Shang Yu, that piece of trash, Lin Feng told them, recalling his Kulpa sword energy. You dare disrespect Princess Yuan, we'll see how you intend to resist against me, shouted that guard of hers. Lin Feng sensed that the ground was shaking, and the earth was crackling. An oppressive strength invaded the atmosphere. Die! A gigantic hand descended from the sky and grabbed Lin Feng. Lin Feng was suddenly in the dark. Prince Hua knows Earth cosmic energy. His cosmic energy is already level 7, not bad, he's an advanced low-level emperor, thought the crowd, looking at Prince Hua. You want to bring about your own destruction, die, shouted Prince Hua, shaking his hand. He wanted to crush Lin Feng. Explode, shouted Lin Feng furiously. A gigantic earth hand moved towards Prince Hua, who frowned, as Lin Feng ran towards him. Humph. Prince Hua groaned coldly and punched the atmosphere again. Energies moved back in Lin Feng's direction. 9 Kulpa swords. Lin Feng released Kulpa sword energies and condensed wind and empty space cosmic energies at the same time. Go, shouted Lin Feng furiously. His 9 Kulpa swords bombarded the atmosphere, explosion and rumbling sound spread out. The atmosphere shook violently as a gigantic hand moved towards Prince Hua at full speed. Prince Hua had armor, it was as solid as the land, energies kept exploding over it. The candidates were all stronger and more intelligent than most low-level emperors. They understood cosmic energies really well and knew lots of skills and spells. The 9 Kulpa swords collided with the gigantic hand, the atmosphere shook violently. However, the sword chi didn't disperse and continued moving towards Prince Hua at full speed. Join, shouted Prince Hua joining his hands. Earth energies surrounded the 9 Kulpa swords. You're a joke, you're ridiculous, you just want to bring about your own destruction. Prince Hua swore. He shouted furiously, the ground opened and the 9 Kulpa swords disappeared. Dong! Prince Hua saw Lin Feng rose up in the air, and the ground was shaking. A pitch-black energy, Devamara Kulpa strength, emerged from his body, looking like thunder, destructive and terrifying. Bzzz. A strong wind started blowing, Lin Feng charged towards Prince Hua. It was like the skies were infuriated. A pitch-black demon Kulpa strength pierced through the gigantic hand he had formed. Prince Hua saw his enemy getting closer and closer. He was stupefied, feeling a terrible pressure. Lin Feng's eyes looked terrifying. Rule. Lin Feng released demonic willpower, which rose to the skies. Prince Hua's will felt painful. His blood was boiling. The crowd saw the willpower Kulpa strength pierce through Prince Hua's body. It looked terrifying. His lacerated body just fell down. He killed Prince Hua. Thought the crowd in astonishment. However, Lin Feng ignored those people's reactions. He just took Prince Hua's items. Yuan Jing was petrified. Not only did Lin Feng disrespect her, but he also killed her guard and now he was stealing Prince Hua's treasures. He considered everyone inferior. What would Yuan Jing do to him? You're audacious. Yuan Jing accused him, staring at Lin Feng. Lin Feng raised his head and looked at Yuan Jing with his pitch-black eyes. He ordered icily, "Get away from me." Boom boom. When the crowd heard Lin Feng, they were even more and more amused. How arrogant. This guy is insane. He is telling the princess to move away from him. On the other side, Tan Tai and Huang Fu Long were fighting against Shang Yu. He had annoyed them, now he had to bear the responsibility. Huang Fu Long and Tan Tai had explosive attacks, especially when combined together. The situation didn't look good for Shang Yu. At that moment, in Champion University, a group of people were watching in astonishment. They hadn't thought that someone would dare offend Yuan Jing. Yuan Ho watched Yuan Jing, they were both from the same clan. Yuan Ho was also in charge of the exam, everything was in his hands. Yuan, Shang Yu is in danger. Besides, he doesn't respect Princess Yuan. Should I get involved? Asked Dan Meng. Yuan Ho glanced at him and said indifferently, I'm in charge of the exam, I must make sure the rules are enforced, right? This, Dan Meng hesitated, the person next to him and said, Shang Yu can't get killed, otherwise Shang Jun. Yuan Ho looked at the one who had just talked and said evenly, we can't violate the rules of the exam, right? That person's eyes twinkled and he responded, of course not. Alright, Dan Meng, send 2 people in first, said Yuan Ho to Dan Meng indifferently. Dan Meng nodded. He looked at the crowd. Even though he was one of the chief examiners, he wasn't the strongest there. Many people were much stronger than him. Some people had trump cards. They weren't supposed to get involved, but they still resorted to some methods because they didn't want to lose real geniuses. Otherwise, they'd have to explain to those groups why their disciples had failed. Chapter 1739, Tengen Qi. Dan Meng glanced at the crowd, and at 2 people in particular. Bai Qi, you haven't been a student for a long time, you need to practice. Qiu Ming, you come with me, too. Bai Qi looked startled, but smiled. Then, he followed after the young man on the map. After all, Lin Feng was there. Let's go. Dan Meng ordered. Bai Qi and Qiu Ming followed. With him, there would be no problem. They all jumped off the map. In the world of the exam, everybody was staring at Lin Feng. They were all stupefied. Lin Feng had killed Prince Hua and had told Princess Yuan to get away from him. Die, shouted a voice furiously. Tan Tai bombarded the atmosphere in Shang Yu's direction. However, at the same time, a gigantic hand suddenly appeared and moved towards Tantai at full speed. "Be careful," suddenly shouted Lin Feng. At the same time, pitch-black kulpa swords bombarded the atmosphere and moved towards the silhouette. "Arg!" shouted Tantai furiously. He suddenly turned around and threw himself at the one who was attacking him by surprise. Explosion sound spread in the air. The hand then landed on Tantai's forehead. He was pushed backwards and a trail appeared in front of him in the ground. Dan Meng rose up in the air and gazed into the distance. He smiled and said, "Continue." "Examiners?" The crowd frowned. Those people had just appeared. It meant that they could decide who they wanted to eliminate. But how could they do that in front of everybody? What is that supposed to mean? Tantai asked Dan Meng grimly. "The exam has already started, what does your question mean?" asked Dan Meng calmly. Lin Feng glanced at Bai Qi. Bai Qi came from the vast celestial ancient city. He had become a student at Champion University. He was probably very strong. "Tantai, continue." "I'll help," said Lin Feng. He landed before them, then he looked at Dan Meng and said calmly. "Since it's part of the exam, we have to adapt." Tantai looked at Lin Feng and nodded. "Alright, you guide, we kill people." "Guard." Someone who was next to Yu Wenjing ran out, he had been protecting Yu Wenjing the whole time. When he heard Lin Feng, he looked furious and released a terrifying chi. "You dared humiliate Princess Yuan, so now you'll die," snarled the man. He then released a terrifying, explosive will attack. "That guy offended Yu Wenjing, he's scary. Yi-Wen is very strong. He's one of the candidates with the most potential. He understands Tengen Qi. His Qi is perfect for battling," thought the crowd. In any case, because Lin Feng had offended Yu Wenjing, there would always be someone against him. Besides, Yuan Ho was in charge of the exam. Even people like Dan Meng had to obey him. They had to help Yu Wenjing and Shang Yu. Shang Yu was Shang Jun's brother. Since he was in charge of the exams, Lin Feng would pay for what he had done. He had offended Yu Wenjing. Dan Meng smiled. Dan Meng considered Huang Fulong and Tantai to be weak. They couldn't defeat Shang Yu. Shang Yu even smiled slightly. Even if Champion University hadn't helped him, it wouldn't have been a problem either. After all, he was incredibly strong. "Princess Yuan, please go into the castle," Yuan said to Yu Wenjing calmly. Yu Wenjing looked at Lin Feng icily and said to Yi-Wen, "Take care of him." She proceeded into the castle. Yi-Wen was very strong, and could deal with Lin Feng. She didn't need to do everything herself. It was better to get help from Champion University. "Bai Qi, Chiu Ming, whom will you fight?" asked Dan Meng. "I didn't come to fight against those people. I am here as an examiner." "Sorry, I'm off," said Bai Qi calmly before he left. Suddenly, a terrifying chi appeared in the sky and rolled in waves through the air. The chi moved toward someone. He was there as an examiner, he didn't need to enter the castle. That person was stupefied, he had been attacked by surprise. "Die!" shouted Bai Qi furiously. Qi dashed to the skies as well as willpower. The crowd was dumbstruck, while some people smiled coldly. Bai Qi knew what to do. Lin Feng was surprised, too. People from the vast celestial ancient city had underestimated Bai Qi. He's not listening to orders. Dan Meng felt humiliated. Bai Qi had disdained him in front of everybody. Dan Meng looked at Chiu Ming and smiled. Perfect, 2-on-2. However, Chiu Ming moved toward someone like Bai Qi had. They were examiners, after all. Dan Meng pulled a long face. "What is that supposed to mean?" asked Dan Meng clenching his fists. Tantai burst into laughter. "It seems that people who are students at Champion University aren't as despicable as you." Lin Feng laughed too. Talented people were obstinate and unruly, proud and arrogant. Some people were like Yuan Jing, arrogant and proud, and some people were like Bai Qi and Xiu Ming, obstinate and unruly. Dan Meng couldn't control such people. Such people relied only on themselves. They were examiners and did what they thought an examiner had to do. At that moment, Dan Meng realized he couldn't control them. As expected, people who weren't members of the Ji Chang's club didn't have the same views as them. He coldly glanced at them and thought, this time, Ji Chang's club is in charge of the exam and surprisingly you dare disobey? In the future, progressing in Champion University will become difficult for you. You will see how powerful Ji Chang's club is. Huang Fu Long, you fight against Shang Yu, I'll fight against that despicable bastard. I don't give a shit whether people are examiners or not, swore Tantai, throwing himself at Dan Meng like a dragon. Alright, answered Huang Fu Long, rising up in the air and moving towards Shang Yu at full speed. A stupid group wants to have influence, said Yi Wen in an ice-cold way, releasing energies which pressured Lin Feng. How strong! Yi Wen's Tengen Qi is powerful and oppressive. Fight, shouted Yi Wen furiously. A terrifying pressure descended from the sky towards Lin Feng. A gigantic symbol, battle, appeared and bombarded the atmosphere in Lin Feng's direction. Lin Feng was furious and released his Devamara Kulpa strength. His eyes were filled with demon willpower. Boom! A gigantic word also appeared in front of Lin Feng, demon, and Devamara Kulpa strength was flowing through it at full speed. It collided against the battle word and the atmosphere shook violently. Who could resist against such attacks, swore Yi Wen, jumping forwards. A terrifying Tengen Qi descended from the sky like a waterfall. Lin Feng bombarded the atmosphere with demon Kulpa strength. Evolution. Lin Feng released his godly awareness. He modified his Devamara Kulpa strength, which turned into a demon map which could destroy the land. On the demon map, there was Devamara Kulpa strength, Yi Wen's attack dispersed and disappeared. What kind of strength is that? Thought the stupefied crowd. Such destructive energies. Dong! The atmosphere shook above people's heads, Lin Feng shouted, die, as his Devamara Kulpa strength turned into a destructive light beam. Yi Wen's facial expression changed drastically. The Devamara Kulpa energy made his own energies disappear. Battle spirit, shouted Yi Wen furiously. He was convinced that he could defeat Lin Feng, because Lin Feng was a Zun cultivator and even if he had level 3 or 4 cosmic energies, he couldn't possibly be stronger. Die! Lin Feng raised his hands again and released even more Devamara Kulpa energy, which dashed to the skies and surrounded Yi Wen. His face drew out in desperation, he didn't want to die. However, he disappeared as if he had never existed. Yi Wen had been killed. All the talismans he had taken now belonged to Lin Feng. Chapter 1740, Revenge. Yi Wen died, too. That guy might pass the exam in the end. Of course, it all depends on Yu Wenho now, thought the crowd. They were dumbstruck. Yi Wen understood Tengen Qi and was extremely strong, but Lin Feng had still killed him. Lin Feng had humiliated Yuan Jing, then he had killed 2 people. Yuan Ho wouldn't want him to become a student. Some people were joining hands to eliminate Lin Feng. He was too strong. On the outside, Yuan Ho looked calm and serene, but his heart was pounding. Dan Meng was a chief examiner. Everything he did was for Ji Chang's club. Bai Qi and Xiu Ming had disobeyed Dan Meng. Those guys were proud. Being proud was good, but it also depended on what people did with it. Bai Qi and Xiu Ming are talented and strong, I don't want them in Ji Chang's club then, Yuan Ho stated. People around him sensed his cold energies. Yuan, should I bring them to the front? Asked someone next to Yuan Ho. He remained silent. Yuan initially paid attention to someone. If we can get him, that's good, but if they get killed by someone new, then that new person must be strong, too. Also, that idiot is quite strong. Dan Meng can't defeat him alone. If the one who killed Yuan attacks Dan Meng, then Dan Meng will be in danger, too, said that person. Even though Dan Meng had become a student a short time before, he was also a member of Ji Chang's club after all, he couldn't die against newcomers. Remember, we're examiners. If anyone is talented, they should go to the castle, said Yuan Ho, his eyes were twinkling. His interlocutor nodded, I understand. Lin Feng and the others didn't know what was going on outside. At that moment, someone shouted out, examiners, back. The new students have 30 minutes to get into the castle, otherwise we'll close it. That voice was extremely loud, and everybody frowned. Dan Meng was surprised. Yuan Ho didn't hide his intentions at all. He stopped dispatching people, instead he told them to leave. Surprisingly, Yuan dares resort to such methods to protect me, Dan Meng thought, pulling a long face. Of course, he knew that Lin Feng and the others wanted to kill him. He looked at Shang Yu and said using telepathy, Shang Yu, go back, forget it this time. Then, Dan Meng looked at Bai Qi and Qiu Ming and ordered, Bai Qi, Qiu Ming, come with me. Then, he moved back at full speed. Tan Tai was furious and wanted to chase him. However, Lin Feng shouted, Tan Tai, stop. Humph. Tan Tai groaned angrily, but stopped chasing them. Dan Meng was an examiner, they couldn't really kill him, but he had also tried to kill them, so the situation was different. However, when everybody heard that the castle would close 30 minutes later, they started fighting again. The battles were quite cruel and intense. Shang Yu pulled a long face. He had wanted to humiliate Tan Tai and the others, but in the end he ended up humiliated. It seemed like he would have to come back 3 months later. Don't forget me, we'll meet again, called out Shang Yu as he recalled his demon blade, lacerating one of Huang Fu Long's illusions before running away. We won't meet again, Lin Feng replied icily. He was talking to Shang Yum as he released wind energies. He was extremely fast. Lacerate. Shang Yu was startled, he hadn't thought that Lin Feng wouldn't let him go. Pitch-black blade lights reappeared. Bzzz. A strong wind started blowing, Shang Yu grimaced and a gigantic demon blade appeared again. Nobody could get close to them. However, Shang Yu saw Lin Feng punch the demon blade. It broke apart and dispersed into ashes as Lin Feng's energies penetrated into his body. Shang Yu's expression changed drastically. A gigantic demon blade reappeared, he was in fusion with his blade as it descended from the sky. Die, shouted Lin Feng furiously and punched the atmosphere again. That punch looked like the punch of a god, completely overwhelming and containing terrifying cosmic energies. Even though Shang Yu's energies were terrifying, Lin Feng didn't hesitate and continued moving forwards. He punched Shang Yu's head, which exploded messily. What an incredible guy! Thought Qiu Ming, who was observing. He had already moved away. He was stupefied. Lin Feng was strong and merciless. They wouldn't meet again, because Lin Feng hadn't let him leave. Bai Qi knew about Lin Feng, so he wasn't surprised. However, he was wondering how Shang Jun, a friend of his, would react now that Lin Feng had killed Shang Yu. Even if Lin Feng became a student at Champion University, it would be difficult between the two of them. Dan Meng was far away in the distance, completely furious. Lin Feng had killed Shang Yu. Lin Feng ignored both of them. He just glanced at Dan Meng, then turned around. He had to get talismans. Tan Tai, Huang Fu Long, come with me, said Lin Feng, moving like the wind. Huang Fu Long and Tan Tai didn't have time to think about the reasons why Lin Feng was so strong, they had things to do. They had to hurry, they didn't have much time. Less than 1/5 of them would go into the castle. Talisman, shouted Lin Feng landing before someone and releasing demon energies. Tan Tai and Huang Fu Long blocked their path, and that person just handed over their talisman. Lin Feng and his friends promptly left. On the other side, Lin Feng punched someone, that person was propelled away, his mouth bleeding. The man just threw their talisman at him. Lin Feng couldn't waste time, he didn't have the time to fight for too long. He had to hurry and get as many talismans as possible. In a short time, he obtained more than 10 talismans. Tan Tai and Huang Fu Long shared half of them and ran towards the castle. That castle contains a terrifying strength, we might get teleported to different places. It could be dangerous. Use your roar in case of danger, Lin Feng told them. Then, they activated the gate with talismans. Lin Feng appeared inside a mountain. As expected, a strange small world. The examiners will probably come in and look for me. They must be watching me. Lin Feng's silhouette flickered, and he moved like the wind. He didn't need to hide since people were already observing him, so he decided to fly. Huang Fu Long landed in a forest. He sensed a terrifying qi descending from the sky, it was as terrifying as a mountain. Huang Fu Long sensed a strong wind. How strong? Huang Fu Long was shocked, then something descended from the sky and bombarded his body. Arg, a dragon roared. Tan Tai was also struggling. He had ended up in a depopulated place, and was in danger. He was furious as he retreated and shouted, "Son of a bitch, he wants to get his revenge." He released lion energies and rose up into the air. Lin Feng stopped. The dragon and the lion were roaring furiously, Tan Tai and Huang Fu Long had used the signal at the same time. Lin Feng was annoyed. Huang Fu Long and Tan Tai were in two different places. He could only save one person. Outside, Yuan Ho was watching everything. That person is talented and strong. He could become a student at Champion University, but we need to see if he can be stronger than that. Who wants to go and check his full strength? Chapter 1741, Explosive Attacks. Wind and empty space. Cosmic energies surrounded Lin Feng. His eyes were filled with death. Devamara Culpa strength was flowing in his fists. Thunder and death. Cosmic energies were exploding. Slash! A terrifying light moved towards Lin Feng suddenly, pressuring him. Die! Lin Feng was well prepared. He shouted furiously and death energies moved towards his enemy at full speed. Bzzz. Lin Feng jumped forwards, and a light beam appeared. Qi whistled. The atmosphere shook violently. Devamara Culpa strength streaked through the sky at full speed and destroyed the enemy's energy. He raised his hands to block the attack, but his energies were destroyed. A terrifying strength surrounded him, and blood gushed out. The face of Lin Feng's foe turned deathly pale, and he ran away. Lin Feng raised his head and said, "If you try to block me, you'll die." He continued flying, ignoring everyone else. In the university, Yuan Ho and the others stared at Lin Feng. They were shocked by his behavior. He's so arrogant, with such a strength, he dares provoke everyone, Yuan Ho observed. I wouldn't have thought that such a cultivator would take the exam of Champion University. He's so arrogant, but he is a genius. We need to make him use his full strength to be sure, though, he continued. He still sounded angry. Who wants to go and try? Even though many people are stuck outside the castle, quite a few still have entered. A few dozens. Even though we've still got more people than them, it's dangerous for us to go in. Indeed, Yuan, we're good for now. 2 people had answered him. They didn't want to fight and they hoped that Yuan Ho wouldn't send them. They had come as examiners, they didn't want to fight against candidates, especially if they could be humiliated. Yuan Ho looked at them and smiled indifferently. I just want the exam to be perfect. Since you think it's not necessary, then why not? Let's do things according to the plan. You choose someone you want to fight, then you go into the crowd, and no matter who wins, after that person goes to the valley, they'll be sure to become students. The more we attack, the better the students will be. For the rest, no objection. Outside, Lin Feng didn't know about that. At that moment, he had already arrived at Huang Fulong's location. The young man who was attacking Huang Fulong was incredibly strong, at least as strong as Tan Tai. Energies rolled in waves in the air. Huang Fulong was being bombarded by his enemy. Lin Feng arrived and used his Devamara Kulpa strength as well as cursing energies. That person immediately gave up and left. He knew he couldn't defeat Lin Feng. Lin Feng didn't chase him either, saying to Huang Fulong, "Are you alright?" "I'm alright," Huang Fulong answered. "Let's go and find Tan Tai. He's in trouble too." Lin Feng nodded and carried Huang Fulong away. Tan Tai had chosen a path of virtue in his tribe. Their knowledge of medicine represented an extensive knowledge and profound scholarship. Tan Tai was very strong, even if he didn't admit it. Even against Dan Meng, he couldn't die. At that moment, the person who was fighting against Tan Tai wasn't weak, but he couldn't injure Tan Tai. Therefore, when he saw Lin Feng and Huang Fulong arriving, he didn't hesitate to leave. Tan Tai swore furiously after him. He said to Lin Feng, "Lin Feng, you bastard." He wanted to get his revenge. "I made them leave on purpose. Let's go." "We don't need to care about such people," Lin Feng told Tan Tai. The three of them quickly left together. However, Lin Feng was surprised when he realized that nobody else was attacking them. He didn't understand. Some people could certainly compete against them. Lin Feng was surprised because some people had attacked them, and now it had stopped. After a long time, Lin Feng and the others found out that the small world was closed on the left, and on the right were mountains that couldn't be crossed. In the front, there were forests which were connected to the skies. They couldn't leave as they wished. Some whistling sound spread in the air. Lin Feng and the others saw someone getting bombarded by someone in the mountains, and blood splashed. They frowned and their facial expressions changed. "Lin Feng, that's our destination," Huang Fulong told Lin Feng. "The real exam is going to start. That mountain is the exit, but getting out won't be that easy." Tan Tai was gazing into the distance. "We can break our way through," declared Lin Feng. His facial expression looked sharp. "Lin Feng, there are too many strong cultivators here. If we can't get out together, you can try and leave alone, we can try next time again," Tan Tai said him. "Don't worry. The three of us will get out. I can lead the way, Huang Fulong is injured. You, Tan Tai, help me crush our opponents. When we see someone, we crush them." Lin Feng started walking forwards. His eyes were pitch black, and he looked like a demon. An indistinct stream of the 9 netherworlds appeared behind him. "I understand, we can destroy people on our path," agreed Tan Tai, releasing aggressive lion chi. He looked like a scary beast. The three friends walked forwards, destroying the trees, grass, and anything on their path. Lin Feng saw one silhouette in front of them. That person looked like a beast. Bzzz. Lin Feng moved like the wind, releasing Devamara strength which bombarded the beastly cultivator. That cultivator looked at Lin Feng ferociously, but when he saw the source of the 9 netherworlds, he was hypnotized, and started drowning in Lin Feng's eyes. He also heard the 9 netherworlds' demonic song. Demonic will rolled in waves towards him, and he started turning into a demon. Back then, the demon emperor had used the Demogorgon Seriatim symphony. "You're under my control," shouted Lin Feng furiously. He released even more demon energies. At the same time, Tan Tai released even more lion energies. The enemy's determination and physical body were put under extreme pressure. Boom! The man bombarded the atmosphere, his fist collided against Tan Tai's fist. However, he was pushed backwards and groaned coldly. Lin Feng got closer and released demonic will, but he didn't attack. They would fight again later maybe. The other remained silent for a few minutes before saying, "Please, gentlemen, thank you very much," said Lin Feng, seeing the other off. Tan Tai smiled appreciatively. "Lin Feng, you're strong. If anyone stops me," said Lin Feng. The three friends moved forwards, meeting many strong cultivators. Each time Tan Tai couldn't resist against them, Lin Feng fought against them. Nobody could stop them. However, at that moment, Lin Feng saw three people in front of them. One of them looked at Lin Feng and told him, "With your strength, if you continue alone, you'll pass the exam, but if you bring those two people, you won't pass because the three of us will attack." Tan Tai and Huang Fu Long were stupefied. Those people were really strong. If they joined hands, then they'd be impossible to defeat. "I hope I can become a student at Champion University, but with my friends," said Lin Feng, releasing demon energy. They were almost done. Chapter 1742, New Student. Since it's an exam, you have to rely on strength to pass the exam, you can't take your friends in, said that person again. Terrifying energies surrounded Lin Feng. "I'm not going to wait for ages, since we're here, we'll become students together." Lin Feng took a step forwards, marks appeared around him and golden lights appeared indistinctly under Lin Feng's feet. "Holy mark spell," thought the three cultivators, looking at Lin Feng. His holy marks contained empty space energy, and looked terrifyingly powerful. Bzzz. Lin Feng took a step forwards, the marks moved towards his opponents and intertwined. The men were stupefied. Those holy marks were complex. Lin Feng was casting a deployment spell. "Go," said Lin Feng, jumping forwards. A tree appeared and leaves flew in every direction. Golden lights invaded the atmosphere, while the three cultivators frowned. Lin Feng was strong. Those three people were already stuck in an empty space. "Block!" One of them shouted furiously and released energies which moved towards Huang Fu Long on Lin Feng's left. He bombarded the atmosphere and a terrifying and gigantic golden cauldron descended from the sky. Huang Fu Long could feel the pressure from it. Cauldrons were heavy, swords were sharp, that cauldron was truly mighty. No wonder that cultivator is a student of Champion University. Thought Huang Fu Long. Dragon chant started spreading in the air, and waves of qi flowed out. At the same time, Lin Feng jumped forwards, a million golden lights appeared and surrounded him, containing destructive death kulpa strength. "How fast? I have to dodge," thought that strong cultivator, scared to receive the attack. Lin Feng rose up in the air as the cauldron bombarded the atmosphere, and at the same time, Huang Fu Long released his dragon qi. But in the end he was pushed away and groaned with pain. His face was deathly pale. "How strong!" thought Lin Feng with a shiver. Surprisingly, the attack had made his muscles shake. However, he didn't stop moving, and continued attacking. Tan Tai was also getting attacked. Golden lights surrounded Lin Feng, it was as if the atmosphere was going to explode. Lin Feng disappeared, and then reappeared in front of the cauldron summoner. He released Kulpa's strength which looked like a snake. His attack was almost as powerful as the cauldron, but Lin Feng wasn't strong enough yet. That person turned around and shouted furiously at him. "Die!" shouted Lin Feng furiously, releasing cursing strength and destroying his enemy's willpower. His Kulpa energy was too oppressive, and his opponent was forced away. Tan Tai was fighting against the other one. That battle was difficult, too. The atmosphere was shaking. The three people were still fighting. Lin Feng had incredible attacks, and he was moving incredibly fast, too. "With your strength, you're already past the exam. Concerning him, he's not bad, but he's not done," said one of the examiners to Lin Feng and Tan Tai. In the end he looked at Huang Fu Long. "That guy, with his current strength, he can't join us. It's important to travel. Practicing within Champion University is the best, though, and I want my friends to benefit from that opportunity too, insisted Lin Feng. Please just move, you can't stop me. Lin Feng started releasing many cosmic energies in a dazzling manner. The three cultivators were stunned. Lin Feng controlled 7 sorts of cosmic energies. If you can destroy my attack, then you can go, said the strong cultivator who had the cauldron to Lin Feng. Alright, agreed Lin Feng. I will destroy your cauldron. We'll see. That cultivator condensed his strength, the ancient cauldron appeared in his hand and energies rose to the skies. This technique is the great celestial 9 cauldron skill. If you manage to learn it at a high level, you can absorb the strength of the earth and the sky and turn it into a terrifying chi which will turn into 9 cauldrons. It's a special spell from Champion University, that cultivator told Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked at him respectfully. Champion University transmitted skills to their students, amazing. I won't use external strength, I'll use strength which belongs to me, said Lin Feng, releasing Devamara Kulpa strength as demon, death and empty space cosmic energies. Go down, shouted that cultivator mightily. The cauldron descended from the sky at full speed. Lin Feng bombarded the atmosphere and moved like the wind. He collided with the cauldron, the impact hanging in the air. He could sense the energies of the cauldron, a medium-level emperor could destroy it. Rule! Lin Feng shouted furiously and the cauldron was suddenly surrounded by marks. Explosions spread in the air, the atmosphere twisted, and the cauldron disappeared. The two people moved back at the same time. The cauldron user moved his arm and started laughing like a madman. Your physical body is so powerful, I'm happy to have fought against you. Thank you, nodded Lin Feng. He looked at the 2 others, they nodded agreement. It seems that we can't block the 3 of you, since it's that way, you can go. Thank you very much. Lin Feng waved his hand. Tantai smiled, and the 3 friends continued their walk. When they passed in front of the one who had the cauldron, he spoke up, my name is Qin Wu. Lin Feng. Lin Feng and his friends quickly left them behind. The others looked at Qin Wu and asked, Qin Wu, what do you think of Lin Feng? He can control deployment spells, his strength is great, his willpower is great, his spells are great, he knows several cosmic energies, his future will be incredible, replied Qin Wu. Even Princess Yuan wasn't as strong as Lin Feng. The Celestial Godly University has a champion. Champion University is not weak. They will have a champion soon. Everybody thinks that King Ji Shang will become a champion. Ji Chang's club will also become very powerful, the other speaker put forth. Don't you have the feeling you were born at the wrong time? Qin Wu smiled. The 4 universities of the Holy City compete all the time, and within each university people compete with each other as well. Ji Chang can oppress a whole crowd. Great emperors and normal emperors don't compete. Because of Ji Chang, it's as if we don't exist. But even that way, we have to remain positive and can't let other people influence us. You're right. We don't need to compare ourselves with Ji Chang's club. It's just that I don't like Ji Chang's club, that examiner said unhappily. He's obstinate and unruly, he's insane, but the competition is so scary at university. It's just that Ji Chang's club is too big and powerful. They oppress students, but the university doesn't get involved in such things. The world of cultivation is like that, people have to rely on themselves. Lin Feng and the others continued walking forwards, and as expected, nobody prevented them from passing. They had passed the exam. When they arrived at the end of the path, there was a door. It must be the exit. Tantai strode forwards eagerly. Lin Feng smiled. This guy was in a rush. Huang Fulong and Tantai immediately entered the door. Lights twinkled, Lin Feng followed them, and they all ended up in a vast public place. Only 2 other people were there, they had probably passed the exam, too. Princess Yuan and the young man with the immortal energies. Yuan Jing stared at Lin Feng and his friends, surprised to see them. Chapter 1743, Student Halls. Yuan Jing hadn't thought that Lin Feng would pass the exam. "You're here," surprisingly, Yuan Jing said coldly. "Hadn't Yuan killed that guy?" Lin Feng glanced at her calmly, and then looked at the young man with the immortal strength. There were only two people. Champion University was not easy to get in, no wonder its students were terrifyingly strong. When Yuan Jing noticed that Lin Feng had basically dismissed her, she looked furious. "Princess Yuan, are you always so rude?" said Lin Feng to Yuan Jing. She smiled in a cold way and replied, "Nobody has ever told me I was rude." "I just did," answered Lin Feng lightly. Around them, a cold chi was emerging. Bzzz. At that moment, someone else appeared among them. Tan Tai was stupefied and blurted out, "You're the bastard." The person was wearing a black robe, he was the one who had corroded Tan Tai's arm. He looked at everyone coolly and said, "It was the exam, now we passed, so let's forget about what happened during it." "You're very cruel," sniffed Tan Tai. He couldn't get his revenge now. "Your Excellency, you're here too," said the newcomer to the young man with the immortal strength. The young man nodded back. "Bulan Shan. Zhu Yen. My name is Tan Tai." "We're now students," blurted out Tan Tai, beaming at those two people. Nobody left, they all continued waiting. After having waited for a while, nobody else appeared there, so they realized that they might be the only ones who had passed the exam. "Let's walk around and take a look," Tan Tai exclaimed. He couldn't wait anymore. Even though Champion University was a university, it looked like an empire, it was so huge. The four universities were almost worlds in themselves. The entrance was the entrance to a small world. "Some people are here," Lin Feng spoke up. In the distance, a group of people appeared. Leading them was Yuan Ho, Dan Meng walked behind him. "Princess," said Yuan Ho nodding at Yuan Jing. "Please, come with me." "All right," agreed Yuan Jing. Tan Tai glanced at her, his expression scornful. "That's discrimination." "Humph." Dan Meng grunted coldly and looked at Lin Feng and the others. "You follow me." They all followed Yuan Ho. Very quickly, they saw a gigantic area with mountains, waterfalls, and so on. Qi filled the air with gentle waves. The scenery was spectacular, and the qi felt very pleasant. Perfect for the soul and spirit. "This place is amazing for cultivators," declared Bulan Shan. Practicing in water and mountains was always better. "Those are the ordinary student halls. I'll show you your new places," Dan Meng said to the group. He said to Bulan Shan and Zhu Yen, "You two can choose a territory where you want to live. Champion University is so big that students can live alone in a gigantic field," smiled Tan Tai. Bulan Shan and Zhu Yen chose a place. "Oh, and by the way, the door you crossed after the exam wasn't the main door. You all need a champion card to cross the doors, they are not open to the public. Also, many places here require champion cards." "I will make them soon," said Dan Meng to the two new students, who nodded and walked over to their private territories. They didn't enter their residences though, waiting to see where Lin Feng and the others would go. Dan Meng brought Lin Feng and the others to other residences, that looked old and decrepit. He said to Lin Feng and his friends, "We don't have any more space. You can temporarily stay here." "What?" Tan Tai looked at Dan Meng icily. "The three of us in one place. You're abusing your power to avenge your personal grudges," Huang Fu Long noted coolly. Living together in one residence wasn't a problem for them. Even though the residence was old, it was still better than living outside. However, they were furious because of Dan Meng's behavior, he was clearly getting his revenge. "I help you find dwellings and you dare be disrespectful." Watch your words, snorted Dan Meng unhappily. I've been at Champion University for many years. Even though we don't accept many new students, we still recruit students every 3 months, and it has always been that way. Right now there isn't enough space. What should I do? Make other people leave their residences? Lin Feng and his friends had killed Shang Yu. It was only the beginning for them. Shang Jun was gone for the time being, but if he knew that they had killed Shang Yu, the situation wouldn't be the same. Even though Lin Feng and the others were talented, at Champion University, everybody was talented. Lin Feng had offended Yuan Jing and killed Shang Yu. He had also offended Dan Meng. The situation was not bright for him. Tan Tai looked furious. He wanted to say something, but Lin Feng spoke first. Thank you for making efforts, Your Excellency. As long as you realize and admit it, that's fine, answered Dan Meng, smiling coldly. He then turned around and left. After a few seconds, he turned around and said to Lin Feng and the others. Besides, you were not supposed to become students here. Bastard, said Tan Tai, releasing bestial chi as he watched the examiner go. He wanted to kill Dan Meng. No need to be in a rush. We're now students at Champion University. We need to abide by the rules after all. He didn't say anything to us. If we offend him, it could get bad for us, Lin Feng reminded Tan Tai and Huang Fulong. They both nodded and tried to calm down. They still thought that Dan Meng was a bastard, though. The three of them walked around. Cultivators didn't really care about having luxurious homes actually, and beds weren't important either. The problem was that Tan Tai felt humiliated. A group of people came over to the newcomers. More examiners. Qin Wu was in the group of people. He looked at Bulan Shan and Zhu Yan and asked, "Is that your residence?" "Indeed," replied Bulan Shan with a smile. "If there's any problem, you can come and ask me. By the way, where are the 3 others?" Qin Wu asked the 2 newcomers. Bulan Shan gazed into the distance and pointed. "I think they're there." "What?" Qin Wu frowned and asked, "Who assigned you residences?" His name was Dan Meng, Bulan Shan remembered absently. No wonder. Qin Wu's eyes were twinkling. "Did he give you champion cards yet?" "He said he was going to do them." Bulan Shan frowned. He had the sensation something dodgy was going on. "Humph." Qin Wu groaned angrily, and told them. "They already have the cards. Let's go and see Lin Feng and the others." "All right," Bulan Shan frowned. They already had the cards. Dan Meng had lied to them. They had a lot to learn. Chapter 1744, Champion Hall. Even though Lin Feng was already in his room, he sensed that Qin Wu and some people were getting closer, so he went out again and greeted them. Lin Feng. Qin Wu looked at Lin Feng and said, "Dan Meng made the 3 of you stay in the same house." "Indeed." Lin Feng nodded. Dan Meng went too far. Qin Wu looked furious. There were many empty houses. Dan Meng and the others were examiners, but they were also in charge of guiding new students. Making Lin Feng and 2 other people live in the same place was ridiculous. When he gives us our champion cards, I hope he'll give us a good explanation. Tan Tai rumbled. Qin Wu shook his head. The champion cards are already ready. He wants to create problems. What? Tan Tai looked furious again. He wants to threaten us. Would he dare not give us the cards? Lin Feng frowned and asked, "Aren't there rules at university?" "The rules are not strict. You have to rely on yourself here. Even though it's a university, the competition is even worse than in the outside world because universities don't care about your social status. Of course, being from a very rich and powerful family from the holy city can be helpful, just like Princess Yuan, for example. You have probably understood that already. There are new students quite often, every 3 months, so the administration lets different faculties take care of those things. This time, Ji Chang's club managed the exam, and Yuan Ho in particular. He has the cards and controls them. Humph. I don't want a card anymore, Huang Fulong said unhappily. You can't, you must have a champion card. You won't be able to come back from outside if you don't have one. The champion hall also requires a card. You need a card. Qin Wu told them emphatically. You just arrived so you don't know much about the university. I'll show you around and tell you more about the place. Thank you very much. Lin Feng said appreciatively. Ji Chang's club was a powerful club in Champion University. Yuan Ho, Dan Meng and the others were members of Ji Chang's club. Qin Wu wanted to help Lin Feng and the others. No need. If I didn't admire you for your strength, I wouldn't help. Qin Wu smiled wholeheartedly. At that moment, someone else arrived. Lin Feng looked surprised. He knew nobody in Champion University, but that person seemed to be coming for them. Who was that? You are new students, right? The new arrival said to Lin Feng and the others coldly. Indeed, could you please introduce yourself, Your Excellency? Asked Bulan Shan indifferently. Dan Meng told me to tell you that he couldn't come. If you want your champion cards, you need to go to his residence, said that person. Then, he left again. Lin Feng and the others were stupefied. As Qin Wu had said, Dan Meng was trying to cause trouble, he didn't want to give them champion cards. Don't be furious. Ji Chang's club is always aggressive. It's not the first time that something like this happened. Similar things happened in the past when Ji Chang's club managed the exams. Even if you go and ask for your champion cards, I doubt he'll give them to you, Qin Wu informed them sourly. Ji Chang's club was always like that, it seemed. Can we kill people in Champion University? Lin Feng asked suddenly. Qin Wu was surprised, asking such a question was a bit strange. Lin Feng seemed too impulsive sometimes. You are largely free here, but there are still some rules. You can't kill people of the same faculty as you. If you really want to kill someone, you'll need to sign a contract with them and agree on a battle to death. If you don't have such a document and kill someone, the university might be furious, said Qin Wu. University is different from the outside world. If you could kill people as you wish, it would be too chaotic. Imagine if you were really strong and someone looked for someone stronger to kill you. The situation would degenerate quickly. Besides, imagine if students from rich families from the holy city got killed, the situation would be even scarier. Alright, Lin Feng said, understanding the problem. The university had existed for a long time, and rich families from the holy city sent their children there. Yuan Jing and Yuan Ho were good examples. Let's walk and chat at the same time, said Qin Wu, rising up into the air. Lin Feng and the others followed suit. We can't kill, but battles are unavoidable, I think, Bulan Shan spoke up. Of course. If you don't fight, then what would be the point of university? As long as you don't kill people, no problem, smiled Qin Wu. Some strong people can oppress others that way. Cultivation is about constantly surpassing others. Battles happen all the time. It's normal. At that moment, Lin Feng and the group started seeing more and more people. The university had existed for a long time, so there were many strong cultivators there. Lin Feng realized that the student halls were unpopulated in comparison with the rest of the place. Can you see the palace there? Qin Wu smiled indifferently and pointed. The edifice was surrounded by clouds. How majestic! Tantai said with a sigh. The palace was gigantic. It's the champion hall, students must go there, and they need their champion cards to get in. With ordinary cards, you can only go to the first floor. And you must have already guessed what you can find inside: skills, spells, techniques, deployment spells, holy marks, weapons, and so on. It gives you access to all-embracing power. It's gigantic. Of course, the best things are on the higher floors. I received my 9 cauldron celestial chi skill from the champion hall. The one you used against me, asked Bulan Shan. Indeed, Qin Wu nodded. On which floor, asked Zhu Yen. He had also fought against Qin Wu. The 9 cauldron celestial chi skill was terrifyingly powerful and explosive. 9th floor. Qin Wu replied. The 9th floor. Zhu Yen frowned. You said that with ordinary champion cards you could only go to the ground floor, so what are the prerequisites to get to the 9th floor? I'll take you somewhere and you'll understand. Qin Wu told them. Then, they continued moving forwards. Lin Feng and the others were skeptical, but didn't ask more questions. They continued walking, and soon Lin Feng saw a mountain, with a waterfall coming out of a cave on its slopes. At the top of the cave, there were letters written in golden paint. Champion Palace. The eyes of Lin Feng and the others twinkled. Champion, Lin Feng was familiar with that word. 3 days before taking the exam of Champion University, he had gone to the Celestial Godly University with Jun Mo Shi and had seen Ing Cheng the champion. Champions, in students' jargon, were associated with being extremely strong and glorious. For universities, it meant glory, honor, and an incredible reputation. People went in and out the palace freely. Qin Wu continued forwards. Come in with me. Lin Feng crossed the waterfall and went into the palace in the cave. There was water everywhere, twinkling like thousands of crystals. Inside the palace, there were 3 walls with many words written on them. Champion Zhan, Champion Ao, Champion Tian Yuan, Champion Shenxiang, Lin Feng and the others read the words. They were all ancient champions. There was a short introduction under each name. The one at the top was the founder of Champion University. He was proud, obstinate and unruly, but he had gone to the Dragon Clan to kill people and come back, astonishing many people. All these champions had amazed the whole region. You know about champions, right? Qin Wu asked them all. Yes. I've even met Ing Cheng, and I've been to the Celestial Godly University. I've seen the stone plate and know a little about the history of champions, replied Lin Feng. Champion University is the same. All those people were champions. We don't write names of champions on here anymore unless they've accomplished something incredible. Qin Wu told them reverently. Accomplished something incredible? The 4 universities of the Holy City have educated millions of geniuses. Many of them have not become famous, but many of them have also amazed the whole world. All those champions have accomplished incredible things and have become famous in the whole world, he continued. Many incredible cultivators had studied in the Holy City at university. The universities of the Holy City enjoyed an incredible reputation. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.